Welcome, everybody, and welcome finally to the Game Tavern podcast. We finally got this back up and running. I think our last one was, 10 months ago?
At least.
Yeah, and
Maybe.
it was on a
What
topic that I
wasn't it?
already. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, I think you're gonna say what I pretty much gonna say.
yeah, the last time we did that was on Galvatron's Revenge. Please, please, for the love of God, don't let me have to say the name of that godforsaken movie for the rest of my fucking life.
Yeah, as you can see, people, it's us back. It's obviously we got the lovely Tom here, but we've also got myself, Hunter, and Justin back. And this was actually
Oh,
I'm just taking over introduction for a sec because I want to give some clear some quick and dirty for this. This is an idea that we've had for a while, and I decided after the torture that Tom had to go through reviewing and riffing on Galvatron's Revenge for 2 parts. I figured it was time. I think it was time for my buddy to have a much needed palate cleanser of experience. Starting with this on April 24th, 2025. Just saying because that's the time we're recording.
April?
Every Monday night for
April?
November. Okay, it's been a long day. Flub aside, we're keeping that in, by the way. We're keeping that in. Anyways,
all right.
so
Yeah.
so so every Monday for the next couple weeks, we are going to basically be doing a retrospective on the Transformers movies. And yeah, and also like this is just to kind of clarify something. It's like I did ask earlier in the week and when we were planning for this if we should also include Predacons Rising, to which we all collectively said yes, we will count it, but we're going to get there eventually. For now, we're starting all the way at the beginning with 1986's The Transformers the movie.
Yeah.
Take it away, Tom.
Well, first of all, I just want to say that I am going to be looking forward to it because I need to remind you that Transformers Prime is actually good.
Fuck yeah.
Second of all, if you hear any background noise, I got a space heater going on because the insulation in the room where my PC is non-existent.
Oof.
And thirdly, I guess this is really going to be a movie that needs not many introductions because, well, as many of you say, outside the Transformers fandom, it also has something of its own cult following. And yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to get into a lot of that good stuff. But first, I think the best way to get into this, to start talking about this movie proper, is to give a little context for how we got to it. So the year is 1984. Ronald Reagan is president of the United States, and as a result, the 80s is truly the decade of toys promoting shows and shows promoting toys. In other words, the 80s was literally the decade of product placement. Not since not
So
si-
true.
not since the 2010s, not since the 2000s and 2010s would something like this ever be truly matched.
In other words, this was the day of Major League Capitalism.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
1984 saw the release of Hasbro releasing its newest toy line with its accompanying animated series to promote it, a Transformers, or as we just call it, Transformers G1, which G1 short standing
Fitting.
for Generation 1, but of course, most of you probably are aware of that, but whatever. But yeah,
Hunter,
so
Yeah. Long
Hunter,
story
I
short, it
guarantee.
was.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, I guarantee most of my audience are Transformers fans. Have you seen the views on my Fall of Cybertron
I know,
streams?
but still, and for any viewers that are new to your channel that don't know anything about Transformers, that's just to explain things for them.
You know what?
So you have
Valid.
to,
No.
anyways, but yeah, so Transformers hits the scene on 1980 in 1984, and to say that it became a commercial success for Hasbro would be an under freaking statement. This show
Oh,
was big. I
I
mean,
think
let me put it this way.
I think, I think
Oh,
Justin
go ahead,
wants to say
Justin.
something.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no. I'll let you finish. Then we'll all give our thoughts.
All right.
Right. But yeah, to say that this show was successful would be an understatement. I mean, cartoon 5-part pilot, the 3-part pilot episode more than meets the eye as well as the Marvel comic and the first year of the toys, would outdo, in terms of sales, even outdid what Hasbro had done for G.I. Joe just 2 years prior when it first launched in '82. So yeah, needless to say, the show was a monumental success. So in its second year, 1985, Hasbro was all in on Transformers at this point, and it really showed with season 2.
Oh, season 2 was definitely the best of the series.
Oh,
L to the yes,
yeah.
brother. A lot of my favorite episodes are from season 2.
Dude, same.
Anyways, it was around when season 2 was about halfway through that Hasbro started planning and began working on a big budget animated film for the series, because let's be honest, that was the only logical next step for this.
I mean, yeah, that was just like kind of a thing to do back then.
Yeah, and which and on August 8th, 1986, Hasbro and Hasbro gave us the Transformers the movie.
You got the touch. Sorry.
And I got a
Yes.
copyright claim.
Damn it, Justin. We have too much fun. So yeah, that's a little of the context out of the way. We're not gonna we'll get into some more stuff here and there. So I guess real quickly we can just give a rundown of the plot.
Justin, do you want to give that rundown?
Yes, I would. So, set in the far future year of 2006. Remember, this was the 80s, folks.
Exactly.
So, Cybertron has foully been conquered by the Decepticons. The Autobots, along with their human allies on Earth, have set up bases on Cybertron's 2 moons, as well as a base called Autobot City on Earth, to try and fight back.
Which is probably one of the few times where it ever actually feels like a war in the G1 series, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyways, continue, Justin.
Also, this did come out. This did come out, when Star Wars was still, high and it's at the peak of its popularity. So,
Oh yeah, well that shows with the fact that, like, for example, frickin' RC has Princess Leia buns in her design.
You know what? I'm just preparing myself right now for the call-outs.
We're not calling you out. I'm just saying, it's like, gee, I wonder if you could tell they were influenced by Star Wars.
Well, they were more sly about it than Roger Corman.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Anyways, continue, Justin.
So, during the height of this war, Optimus decides to send a team to their base, Autobot City on Earth, to retrieve more Energon supplies. Unfortunately for them, the Decepticons had Laserbeak spying on them and relays it to Megatron. And this relies to the scene that I'm pretty sure shocked a lot of kids in the 80s, where the Decepticons attack the Autobots' ship and literally kill like 4 beloved main characters, like Brawn, Prowl, Ironhide, and Ratchet just get dropped like flies.
I'm not kidding. When I first discovered... Excuse me. Sorry, just been drinking a soda. When I first saw that scene, I saw what they did to first Brawn, and then when I saw the Prowl, I was like, what the hell?
Dude, that's literally everyone's reaction. Like Justin said, like, shock kids in the 80s. Imagine my shock when watching this for the first time in 2009. You're like, what the hell?
What the hell?
Yeah, I know. It's like,
It's like, you remember?
God. Sorry, go
It's
on.
like, yeah, remember? It's like, you remember how, like, in the cartoon, people get shot. These characters get shot all the time, and they just shake it off like a football player getting tackled in the NFL. and then this opening scene happens. It's like, talk about tonal whiplash.
Yeah, I
I
mean, is
know.
that not even talking about the utter destruction of a planet that opened up the prologue before we even
Oh
got to the title
yeah.
card?
Oh yeah. Don't worry,
Yes.
we will get back to that.
Oh yeah, we will. But yeah, about that scene, it's like, yeah, holy shit. Like again, I can just like I just imagine like kids probably turning to their parents and demanding to know that their favorite characters aren't really dead.
I'm just gonna, if
Yeah,
I were a parent, I'd just be like, what's my duty of care here to my child?
right.
Honestly, yeah, honestly, I think Ironhide got the worst. Just like after he's already injured, Megatron just blows him up with his fusion cannon when he's down.
Yeah.
It did lead to
Also,
one hell of a one-liner. Such
such
heroic
heroic.
nonsense.
Oh, I just got.
Also, I
Oh,
feel
I
like
just, I just heard back from
Well,
Martin. He's bogged down with work, so
I
it's just
did
gonna be the
too.
three of us.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
but
Don't worry,
yeah,
folks.
which
Don't worry, folks. Martin will be joining us next week when we tackle the '07 movie.
yeah, but But also one thing, but besides the shockingness of that scene, one thing I think other people will notice is I just want to bring or should we bring up like how like really good the animation actually is?
You know what?
But we're gonna get into all that. We're gonna get into all that stuff, but I feel like we should hurry up and just get through the plot
All
Okay.
right.
first.
So I guess after we
Okay,
just
okay,
cut.
okay, yeah.
So after just like that. So after just that absolute red wedding of a scene that all of us Transformers fans have burned into our souls, we cut to a quiet little fishing trip with Daniel Witwicky and Hot Rod. Yeah, get used to the term tonal whiplash in this movie.
No kidding.
Yeah. Which
I
to be,
can't.
I mean, to
Yeah,
be
I
fair,
mean,
this is a cute scene.
yeah, and to also be
Agreed.
fair, this was the '80s, so each scene was probably depending on how much cocaine the writers had.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Anyway, but yeah, I do agree. I agree. It's a wholesome and fun little scene with Daniel and and Hot Rod. And I just have
Hot
to ask
Rod.
this question: is Daniel a Kenny?
Nah,
No, because I'm not actually. I didn't find him annoying.
I don't either. Like that's the thing. It's like I don't. I think people just hate him just because, again, like there were people back in the day that didn't really care for Spike Witwicky either. And to be fair, it's like I get it. It's like I don't care about the human characters. I care more about the robots. But it's like the thing about Transformers, and I'm going to say this real quick before we continue. Transformers, unless you're setting the movie entirely on Cybertron, like Transformers One, you kind of need that human element in Transformers, especially if you're telling it, especially when a good chunk of your movie is set on Earth. So it's like you kind of need that human element because otherwise it just kind of feels what's the word I'm looking for?
I think the best way to describe it is by one of the Marvel Comics writers. I'm not sure which one it was, but he basically said if this is going to be set on our planet, they're going to turn it into our machines. They should interact with the human race.
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah, that's perfect. That's a perfect description, I'd say.
Agreed. So, anyways, Daniel, so good old Danny Boy and Hot Rod, who is basically his Bumblebee to his dad. Which, yes, this is
Yeah,
Spike and Carly's son. Just a little FYI for those not in the know.
yeah.
So,
And
anyways,
he's voiced. Oh, oh,
and Hot Rod is voiced by Judd Nelson from The Breakfast Club.
yeah.
Yeah, on top of the animation in this movie being stellar, folks, they also got a lot of celebrity voice actors in this movie. A lot of celebrity actors in this voice a lot of the characters in this movie.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so for
We'll
those
get
of
more.
you who don't know, you're gonna
We'll
be
get.
impressed by who they
Oh,
managed to get.
oh,
I mean,
and by the way,
oh yeah.
apparently that's the second time the Breakfast Club has influenced this franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, who'd have guessed, right?
Who'da thunk?
Don't worry, we'll get more onto that. We'll get more to that later. Anyways, Danny and Hot Rod are fishing, bonding. We see some of the other characters in Autobot City, like Cup, who's pretty much the curmudgeony old war vet. We have Blur, the fast-talking Autobot who never slows down unless he's told to. RC, who's pretty much okay. I'm just gonna say it. G1 RC was basically just the girl, but in this case, that's not a bad thing. It's not a
No,
bad thing. I'm just
especially
saying that's kind of her defining characteristic in G1 is just she's just the girl.
yeah. Well, especially
You have
when you could, because like you consider like the whole, story behind her creation. Remember?
again, we'll get more on that later.
All
Mm-hmm.
right.
But anyways, we also meet Springer and Autobot Triple Changer, which finally we get a Triple Changer in the Autobots.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
And to be
Mhm.
fair,
Well,
and to be
Springer
fair,
was
he's one of the best characters in the movie. Springer's one of
you're
the
right.
best characters. Then of course
right,
we
he
have
Hey, let Justin speak,
Ultra
dude.
Magnus. Oh, sorry, my bad.
I was just gonna say yeah, you're right. Springer was the first all about triple changer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyway, move
And
on.
and then of course we have City Commander Ultra Magnus, who honestly is it's for a lot of these characters they were created specifically for Transformers the movie. Although in the case of Ultra Magnus, he was technically based on a pre-existing toy, but again, we'll get more on that later.
All right.
So anyways,
So, yeah,
Autobot
let's
City
get
falls
to
under
it.
attack, but Autobot City soon finds itself being attacked by the Decepticons when Hot Rod and Daniel see that the Autobot shuttle is being piloted by Megatron and his crew. So they issue a warning, and what follows is no joke. It's a badass fight scene that goes on for like 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, they didn't slow down whatsoever.
Oh no.
And no joke, folks. This fight scene, like, yeah, it goes on for 20 minutes, which is why I will say, like, don't get me wrong, it's a great scene, but it's like, yeah, for the people that complain about the Bay films lingering on the fight scenes too long, I present to you Exhibit A. 86 did it first, so shut up.
And cue
Yeah.
the rebuttal. Yeah, well, I watched the original show and had the original toys when I was a kid, so fuck off.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's pretty much
That is
what
good.
that's pretty much what everyone's excuse is when, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's always
but
the
needless to
defense when presented with their logical inconsistency. But we're getting off topic.
Anyway, let's move on. Anyway, I'll continue.
anyways,
So yeah, they managed to. So yeah, during the attack, they do manage to get a message to their troops on Moonbase 1, and the one doing it is your boy Blaster Hunter.
hell yeah.
You're probably happy to see him getting some good screen time here.
Please give our boy
Oh,
a
yeah,
return
it
to a
was.
show. Please.
I know, right?
Right?
Yes.
Anyways,
But yeah, so fortunately they're received, and Optimus arrives with reinforcements like the Dinobots, and we get a really awesome fight scene between them and Devastator.
and is a fight scene with the Dinobots and Devastator never awesome?
Yeah, exactly.
And
And
also-
we also
Anyway.
get probably the highlight of this movie.
You got the
Mm.
touch.
Yes, the quote unquote final battle between Optimus and Megatron.
Yeah, which
Not
by
gonna
the-
lie, I was tempted. Not gonna lie, Justin. I was tempted to say. I was tempted to in song voice. You know the song.
Yes, and
Yeah.
yes, and we get what
Anyways.
is essentially one of, kind of the theme song for the movie.
yeah.
Hell
You thought it was
Um,
gonna be what you thought was actually gonna be the Transformers theme.
nope.
Yeah, right.
All right, but mind if I tag in
This
on
is
this
arguably
one?
better.
Sure, why
Hey,
not?
Tag in.
yeah. I just kind of want to just point out a big. This is as good a time as any to point out a big tonal shift that began to happen with the some of the characters when the '86 movie came out, particularly with Prime and Megatron, because typically with Prime, what we got was kind of like a warm fatherly figure throughout the first two seasons. But I think this is
Yeah.
where we started seeing the more stoic, serious version of Prime we see pop up a lot in, especially began way back in the mid 2000s.
Agreed. That
Eh.
said, to play devil's advocate though, it strangely works here because it somehow doesn't feel out of character for this version of Prime. Does it? Does that? I don't know. Does that sound contradictory?
Nah, not
Oh,
really.
no, I don't think so.
I mean, considering that again, what we're talking about is essentially his and Megatron's final battle. It makes sense that Optimus for this fight is just like, I am done with Megatron's nonsense. We end this today.
And also, I just wanted to point out that it's also a tonal shift from Megatron, because usually we hear him cackling after every little grandiose speech about his latest nefarious schemes. But in this one,
Yeah,
sorry,
he's just full.
I need. God, I need to start drinking water more often during these.
I feel you.
Anyway, this Megatron is out for blood.
Oh,
There is not
yeah.
one. There is not one giggle. All there is just that evil, sinister, just would give the devil sleep paralysis demons smile.
Oh yeah.
This
yeah,
isn't your typical Saturday morning cartoon villain. This is a psychopath.
Which is what. Yeah, Megatron in the first 2 seasons of the cartoon was very much was literally just a cartoon bad guy. And here in this movie, it's like tone whiplash. It's like he went from being. It's like, haha, I finally have you where I want you, Optimus Prime. Oh no, I tripped. Decepticons retreat to. I like hell anyone is retreating and I will shoot the first bastard who tries.
Pretty much. So yeah, for the audience this movie was rated for, their fight is brutal as hell.
Well, it also helps that they're robots, so
the MPAA couldn't bother to give a shit if you paid them.
yeah, I know. I mean, because
You
you got stuff like Optimus getting impaled by a thing of rubble, and then Megatron cutting the wound up further with an Energon sword.
Yeah.
Which is also straight up just a freaking lightsaber. Again, with the Star Wars comparisons.
No, does it even make lightsaber sound effects when he activates it?
No, it actually didn't.
No, but either way, I think George Lucas gonna sue somebody.
At that rate, let's just continue on. So yeah, the battle gets pretty brutal, but Prime does eventually get the upper hand, has Megatron down, and has him at gunpoint. But Megatron, seeing a strewed about pistol, is attempting to lull Prime into a false sense of security by pleading for his life, and just distracting him enough to get the pistol. It looks like he's about to, and then out of the blue, old Hot Rod decides to try to tackle Megatron to get him from getting the pistol, and it didn't work.
It did not work.
And then we get to the part of the movie that I think has become the most infamous from 1986 onwards.
Before that, just want to clarify. It's like, yeah, Prime gets shot, but he also gets a good big shot on Megatron, which finally forces the Decepticons to retreat. But then, like Tom said, we get to what is arguably the most infamous scene in the movie, the death of Optimus Prime. Now, we're not going to linger talking about this too much because there's a lot to say here, and we're gonna talk about it later because there is so much to say. But we're not kidding when we say, folks, for those that haven't seen this movie, this scene impacted people back in the day. Kids were straight up in tears leaving the theater by this point. And keep in mind, we were barely at the halfway point of this movie when this scene happens.
Oh, yeah. And when we say dead, we mean dead, as in even Frank Welker and Peter Cullen themselves were absolutely flabbergasted when they were reading the script. As in, Peter just looked right at Welker and just get, Frank, I'm getting whacked on page 17.
Well, there go
the car payments. Yeah, no joke, folks. Everyone involved in this movie was shocked by the what where the story was going. Like like Frank Welker even said like he and Peter like had like a day prior to their recording session where they were just like having coffee and donuts, reading the script together, and Frank looks over at Peter and says, "Wait, I kill you? Are you serious?" Like they were even they were shocked and confused. Like, wait,
Yeah, just
what?
like, what? Yeah, I just imagine Peter's like, wait, Frank, I'm getting whacked on page 17. Wait, I'm not coming back. Wait.
Goes all the way to the end. There go the car payments. Yeah, Peter Cullen was asked about this years later, folks. Like, was he involved in the decision making of the death of Optimus Prime, and how did he feel about it? Now, to which he said, "No, I was not involved with it. I had no involvement on that. And as for how I felt about it, I hated it."
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, considering that again, I mean, we all know Peter Cullen has a pretty strong attachment to the character.
Yeah, but not to mention
reasons
financially,
that-
this was the big break he needed in his Hollywood career.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was kind of like financially, he was kind of on the struggle bus for a while. But then this came along, kind of helped him get back on his feet. Then the script came along, he's
Yeah.
just like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Damn it. So yeah, Optimus Prime dies, but not before passing to Ultra Magnus, the Matrix of Leadership, which, for all intents and purposes, is the MacGuffin of this movie. But it's a good MacGuffin. But we'll get more into depth about it later when we get to Levy that have become basically kind of standard with Transformers, for both better and worse.
Yes.
Yep.
Anyway, can I talk about this part?
Oh,
Go ahead, Justin.
You had the floor.
Okay, so yeah, after Optimus's very tragic death, which by the way, I know we're gonna talk about this more, but I do want to say, props to Peter for really selling the death scene.
Hell yeah.
The fact that this man
But
has
yeah.
not gotten an award for his acting is a fucking crime against humanity.
Didn't
Hey, he
get an
won the
award for his acting in Transformers Prime?
well. Here's the thing. Peter ultimately got the biggest W in the end, boys, because again, he got the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah,
You know what?
yeah,
Fair
no,
enough.
that's true. But yeah,
So as far as
anyway.
I'm concerned, he won. Anyways, continue, Justin.
So yeah, after that we then cut to the Decepticons heading back into Cybertron, who are, I mean, to be fair, this was also like a bizarre thing in the show too, are somehow all able to fit inside Astro Train at once.
The
But-
80s,
question,
man.
Marty.
Yeah, but it gets even crazier. Like I swear, is Astro Train the Tartarus?
Yes.
I mean, he might
Now
as
you-
well be.
This is why, folks, Tom, Justin, and I all agree that Giant Astro Train just makes more logical sense.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, but continue on.
But anyway.
What's going on the expressway back to Cybertron?
Anyway, however, this time, Astro Train says you can't carry them all any further. It's like strange. You never seem to suffer that problem in the show, but I digress. And so Starscream, being the dickhead that he is, suggests that they throw out all of the injured crew members in order to lighten the load, and they end up throwing out Thundercracker, Skywarp, Starscream, you're a really good brother there, and the Insecticons, and of course Megatron. And after that, we do get a scene that is so unintentionally funny to me, where, Starscream just instantly declares himself leader, but then they all start fighting over who should be leader. And again, the Constructicons are just able to merge into Devastator inside Astro Train. I feel sorry for Astro Train in this scene.
Right? It's like how this poor guy didn't crash land on his way back home while they were busy slugging it out inside of him. I have no idea.
No, right? But anyway, so the injured bodies of Megatron, the Seekers and the Insecticons float aimlessly through space when they are suddenly pulled to the giant, massive machine that we saw at the beginning of the movie, that being Unicron,
Yeah,
voiced by legendary actor and director Orson Welles.
Yeah,
And
we
yeah,
you
weren't
made me
kidding when
wa-
we said you were. We
yeah,
weren't kidding when we said you'd be impressed by who was voicing who in this movie.
yeah. And and don't forget this was also his last role because he died like I think it was like a few months after this.
Something like that. Yeah, he
yeah.
Orson Welles was suffering from very bad health problems at this point in his life.
Well,
I
it
mean,
didn't help that he was, morbidly obese.
yeah. I
That
mean,
that is true.
yeah. I mean, this was. Some would say this was a massive low point in his career, but
Well,
put
it
in mind there are
was.
people who actually still enjoyed this movie and his performance. There's
Well,
that one
yeah, his
British movie,
performance
Tron, with
was.
that one female actress, where it was just like, yeah, he could have had a way worse role to end things on.
Oh yeah. Like here's the
Yeah.
thing. Like I'm just gonna mention this here real quick. It's like here's the thing, folks. Orson Welles prior to his death, when asked about working on this movie, he kind of to a point just wrote it off as like, I voice a toy that just eats other toys. Which on the one hand, he's not wrong, but on the other hand, it's like, ouch.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's like I mean, but
Like,
it's ouch because I mean, admittedly, he's not wrong. Like the whole point of this movie is it literally was to sell toys. But again, we'll get more on that later.
but I mean, to give him his credit, even when he wasn't all that into it, he never half-assed a performance.
oh no,
No,
I thought his Unicron voice was awesome.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
if I'm being honest, I still think to this day he's the best voice for Unicron so far. No one after him is. I'm not saying the people that have come after Orson Welles are bad by any means. They're not, but it's just there's something about this voice for Unicron that is just it's perfect. It fits. We will never capture this lightning in a bottle ever again.
all right, but
Hey, plus,
let's let Justin
wasn't it like?
continue.
Yeah. But first, I just want to say, like, wasn't it said that, like, the people on set were afraid of Orson Welles, and was it he said that's perfect because it means he's doing his job?
Basically, I mean,
Yeah,
he was already an intimidating guy because again, remember, guy had a legendary career under him, and like sometime prior to working on this movie, he had gotten into a massive fight with somebody, and like that conversation got leaked as a recording, like an old tape recording. So yeah, Orson Welles was somebody that was intimidating when you pissed him off. I mean, again, big morbidly obese guy that towers over everybody. It's like, yeah, that's fucking intimidating.
Yeah. But
indeed.
as I continue, so they are summoned, and Unicron makes a deal to Megatron. Basically, if he becomes, his champion and destroys the Matrix of Leadership, the only thing that can destroy him, he will upgrade him and his troops with new bodies and new powers. At first, Megatron isn't into it until Unicron threatens him with a slow and agonizing demise. So he agrees and is then upgraded into Galvatron, and also gets a new voice because he's voiced by Spock himself, Leonard Nimoy, who ironically will also return in Transformers
We're going to
in the
have
We'll
future.
get there. Don't worry.
we're doing a lot of foreshadowing for future podcast episodes, boys.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But
Well,
yeah,
again, considering
yeah.
this is a retrospective on the Transformers movies, seems kind of fitting.
I know, just
As for
kind of
the
enjoying it.
others, as for the others, they get upgraded into Cyclonus, Scourge,
The
and
Warrior.
their Cyclonus the Warrior, Scourge the Tracker, and their minions. As for who is who, you decide.
Yep.
Basically.
The debate about that continues to this very day.
Yeah,
It will never
I
it
think
will never die.
I think like the one idea I think a lot of people agree with was with the Transformers animated Allspark Almanac there.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, when it comes to who became Cyclonus, that's basically the Transformers version of who shot first, Han or Greedo.
No, it's the Transformers equivalent of who's on first.
Who's on second?
Yeah,
No, who's on first?
Right?
I
That's what
don't
I'm
know.
asking. Who's on first?
Oh, who's
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
that would
Anyway,
yeah, anyway, we get to another after that we get to another semi tragic scene, but to be fair, this was kind of a moment that was that was kind of coming throughout the entire series. And it's one of the most iconic, and I just want to be the one to talk about it if you guys don't mind.
all yours, man.
Go ahead.
I have something to say after you talk about it, though.
Okay, so back on Cybertron, Starscream is instantly coronating himself as the new Decepticon leader. But before he's about to give his speech, the now newly upgraded Megatron, now Galvatron, and Cyclonus interrupt it, and Megatron, now Galvatron, pretty much at this point done with Starscream's bullshit, just instantly kills him. In one of the I just want to say, like, aside from Optimus, Starscream probably has the second most memorable death in this movie.
I would agree with that. Megatron, is that you? Here's a
There's a
hint.
hint. Just
Poor guy
love
got
that
that.
line.
Poor guy got
I just-
gold plastic syndromed.
I just love, like I said,
Yes.
I just love Galvatron's response when Starscream says that, just here's a hand, transforms into a cannon and kills him.
Which,
They-
speaking of which, yeah, in case you haven't noticed, this movie has quite the body count. One
we'll
only
get
right.
to
I think.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hang on. I just gotta make this joke. Yeah, this thing has a body count higher. Yeah, this thing has a body count higher than a lot of the other movies to be featured in the future, and all the Kardashian sisters.
Damn.
Am I
That is
wrong?
hard. I mean, no, but damn.
I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm
Uncalled for, but at the
laughing.
same, yeah. I don't know if that's uncalled for, but I'm not complaining.
All right, but
I'm
anyway,
not either. That shit was
but
funny.
there's kind of a reason why. Do you think? Oh, it's to raise the stake. It's to make you worry that nobody's safe. No, once again, this was the '80s, and again, major league capitalism. Basically, what was
Yeah, but we'll
happening
get
over
that later.
at the side of Hasbro is
Well,
that a lot of their
we'll get.
hey.
Yeah, go ahead.
Basically, what was happening was that come '86, a lot of their original 1984 line and some of their 1985 line began becoming less popular and therefore had to be discontinued. So a lot of those first and early second wave toys just found themselves out the window so they can make way for the next product line, and that's where we got a lot of the characters in season 3.
Yeah.
There was one weird exception. We were just talking about Starscream's memorable death scene. Here's the weird thing. Starscream's toy was still very good in terms of sales come 1986.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, they all just looked around. It was just like, oh, we axed the 184 guy who was still selling.
I think a lot of that
Shit.
also I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, because again, if you guys don't mind a little, like, trivia thing here,
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
because, like, they weren't really planning to continue the show after this movie. Like, the original idea was, like, they'd stop doing the show and then just do, like, a trilogy of big budget movies.
Yeah, but then this movie's box office returns definitely put a damper on that. But again, we'll get more on that later.
Yeah, there was just like,
But,
oh,
like,
hey,
but
we don't
again,
need to worry. We'll have enough budget for the sea. Fuck.
Oh, damn.
But anyway, yeah, since you bring up, Starscream being the one to die despite his toy not being discontinued, I just want, like, I say, yeah, that is weird, but it's like at the same time, it's like this was kind of something that was a long time coming. Just Megatron
Oh,
finally
agreed.
having enough with, again, just finally having enough with Starscream's bullshit and just removing him from the equation. Also, I know this isn't a big thing, but it is something I notice that I just think is kind of funny. is that during Starscream's coronation, you can see Thundercracker, Skywarp, and the Insecticons in the crowd of other Decepticons.
Even with that big budget,
Yeah,
they still couldn't get past those classic animation errors.
No,
you
they
gotta
could
love it.
not.
You gotta love it.
Well, aside from, Galvatron, telling Starscream, here's the hint before killing him, another great line is, after killing Starscream, he just turns to the other Decepticons. It's like, will anyone else attempt to fill in his shoes? I just love Rumble there. And what did he say his name was?
Galvatron.
It's like, well, that didn't take a lot.
Yeah, but again, that was the whole thing about the Decepticons in G1. Whoever was the strongest got to lead, and it's like after seeing what this guy just did to Starscream, can you really blame them for like, nah, we're good?
And I just love
Yeah.
that the writers later confirmed that, yeah, Starscream just basically waited for everybody else to beat the shit out of each other and then just took top. What I'm
Yeah,
trying to
that's,
say is
that's
that
a
this
very
man would have. What I'm
Starscream.
trying to say is that this man would have been a menace in battle royales.
No, what
I
I'm
mean,
saying is this guy. Let's be honest. Like, this is
that
the
is a
only.
very
This is the only
Starscream
point.
thing.
That is the only. This is the only point where I'm going to be political, and this, but it's for a good joke. Starscream would be a hell of an opponent to take on in the political system if he were around today.
Yeah, but
I
yeah,
mean,
let the. Oh, sorry.
'cause let's be honest. He'd be like, "Yes, I've been waiting for Congress to dispatch each other so I can take over with no problems."
Honest,
Anyways,
honestly, that's a coin
sorry.
that's a coin toss if I'm actually going to keep that. You know how volatile the subject is.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways,
And
anyways,
yeah,
after
I'll.
that we cut.
Oh,
After
yeah,
that, we cut back to our hero. We cut back to
I
our
think
hero's
Justin
honor.
wanted to hit
Well,
this
actually,
part.
okay.
well, yeah, I was gonna say I could. I was gonna ask if I could do this part, and then like someone else can take over. But if you guys want to take over, it's fine.
Hmm. What do you say? What do you say, Hunter? Pistols at dawn to talking about this bit.
Just take the bet.
I'm sorry. I don't know why that was funny.
It's basically. I'm not. I'm not taking on the gun nut of the group on in a gun duel. Okay, I know I'm gonna fucking lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Like nope. Like nope. I fold. You're good.
Wimp.
No,
Uh,
I just want to live to see another day.
All right. So after upon this little revelation and Galvatron taking back his position and getting his troops back under control, Unicron decides to give his own congratulations by chomping both of Cybertron's moons. And I'm just going to say is that it's a good thing Cybertron doesn't have any oceans, otherwise things would be bad.
Yeah,
No kidding.
yeah, I'm pretty sure if Unicron existed, like his just mere presence near a planet would instantly start causing shit.
Gravity, man.
Well, to be fair,
It's a
Justin, we do see
bitch.
that happen at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true because
Oh yeah,
everyone
because of
gets
the
lifted the second
planet he ate in the prologue. Which
Like,
I feel so bad for anyone who tries to do a dead meat style kill count for that. Good God.
Well, I put it this way: Unicron would be on the round body of infamy for us because like that man caught God knows how many bodies just with that one planet alone.
Damn, I don't
Yeah,
even think Mia
exactly.
Khalifa can help match that with the Kardashian sisters. Okay, I'll stop.
Who's the
Damn it.
Kardashians right now?
I'll stop. I'll
I mean,
stop.
I know they.
It's
That's the last time I'll do
because it's
that
too
bit.
easy, Justin.
Yeah, that's true.
No, you'll find an excuse for three. Anyways,
Yeah,
continue.
fair enough. Anyway, so and in another part that honestly in retrospect is hilarious. The first one is going to be, I believe it's Moonbase 1, which the only inhabitants apparently left on there are Jazz and Cliffjumper. But slight spoiler because despite the Moonbase 1 getting chomped, those two actually freaking live to the end of the movie. And again, in
Majorly
retrospect,
ironic. Oh, sorry.
again, in retrospect, if you know the rest of the movies we're going to be talking about, that is hilarious.
Well, it's also super ironic considering after this movie, Scatman Crothers passed away, and then Casey Kasem quit the show. So
Yeah.
or political reasons.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but we're not talking about that.
Yeah, and
Yeah, but I'm
after
just giving.
that,
I just want to give context.
and after that, B and Spike quickly realize they need to get the hell out of Dodge, and and they gotta do something. So they decide to just, Moonbase 2, let's just blow it up and blow it up in his gut. I mean, it worked in Jaws. Maybe it'll work for a
Smile, you
planet.
son of a bitch.
And did we mention that this was a children's movie back in the 80s? I'm just gonna splice together a clip.
Oh, boy.
I'll just splice a clip of Spike saying shit.
Yeah.
It's
Don't worry.
Virginia.
There's gonna be.
Oh,
Don't worry. There's gonna be another swear later in the movie too.
Oh yeah.
the '80s when you could, the '80s when you could say shit in a PG family film.
Yeah.
Rated P. Remember, kids. This technically high. Remember, kids. This has the same rating as Frozen. I am not letting that go because it's just like
Yeah.
have it make sense, MPA.
Yeah, but
Hey.
and unfortunately for Galvatron, he's quickly realizing that, well, making a deal
Making
with
a
a
deal
giant
with-
planet-eating space devil was probably a really bad idea.
Yep.
So yeah. Sorry, I guess my voice is still a little raw from recording earlier today.
You're
Oh,
good,
good.
brother. All good.
So after reminding the pecking order, Unicron has Galvatron take the remaining Decepticons back to Earth to finish what he started. Oh, wait, shit.
Yep.
I skipped over both the moon bases contacting our Earth-based Autobot heroes about what's going on.
That's okay. We'll just fix it in post.
And by we, you mean me.
Well, you said it. I didn't.
All right, who wants to take over this
Anyways.
next bit?
So yeah, needless to say, our heroes on Earth have been informed of the situation, and they decide they have to basically mount an attack on whatever this thing that's getting ready to attack Cybertron is. Which in this case, our heroes for the main group of heroes we will focus on for the duration of the film will consist of Alter Magnus, Cup, Springer, RC, Hot Rod, Blur, Perceptor, and the Dinobots, and of course,
and
Daniel.
And Blaster.
Well, no, because Blaster stays behind on Earth along with Snarl.
Oh, he does. I thought. Oh, he does. I thought he went with them. My bad.
Really? Because
He doesn't.
Really? Because it just feels like Snarl just didn't want anything to do with this movie. Like he just saw what was going on. It's like I ain't gonna be first Dino to get the chomp.
Well, I mean, that's what you would think, but no, it actually was later revealed. The reason he didn't go into space with the rest of them was because his talents were needed in repairing Autobot City, since his plates essentially act as like solar absorption panels.
Fair enough.
Right.
Anyways, but as our heroes are getting ready to launch for Cybertron, they're attacked by Galvatron and the Decepticons, who somehow got to Earth in that time. Don't question it. Ultimately leading into an epic battle that leads with our heroes launching into space. But eventually the Decepticons catch up with them again and shoot them down, with Hot Rod, Cup, and the Dinobots crash landing on the planet Quintessa, while Magnus and everyone else crash land on the planet Junkion. We'll get more onto that later. Dustin?
Yeah. So after this, we kind of see the adventures from both angles. For example, Cup and Hot Rod on Quintessa are attacked by robotic animals like a giant robotic squid, robotic fish, and while on land, they discover a group of what are they? What are the crocodile ones called again?
I believe they're called Alicons.
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 Yeah, everything on Quintessa has an aquatic theme, and there's a reason for that, but later.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get into that later. Sorry, guys, I had to talk.
Very good.
Anyway,
it's all
so
good.
Very good.
so yeah. Granted, they tried to make peace with the Alatron, Alligatrons.
Yeah, but that goes about as well as you would think.
Well, Cup should have brought more snacks.
No, I think Cup. No, what they should have brought is a Florida man.
They should have brought Moist Critical. He could have taken them on.
Or
Anyways,
an old Southern lady with a shovel.
that too.
We have to. Anyway, they're brought to these things masters, the Quintessons,
Who are going to
will
be a
get
very important, who are a very
yeah,
important race in TF lore. But again, that's established here in this movie.
Which I mean,
yes. This is the Quintessons' first appearance.
if you ever wondered what would it look like if a jellyfish was able to go onto land and go to a tiki party, that's a quintesson.
That's actually not a bad description.
To be fair, the design of the Quintessons is unique.
It's fittingly
I
alien.
love their, yes, I love
And
their
it's iconic as hell.
techno-organic look. Yeah, I love their techno-organic look, and I like how other series have kind of taken that, like again, the whole techno-organic thing, and really run with it, especially in Transformers One. Those are probably some of
Oh,
the best the
definitely.
Quintessons have looked in years. But anyway, yeah. So I watched the Quintessons' unfair trial as they put one guy that survived Unicron's attack in the beginning on trial and
Or
instantly. Sorry, what?
Or Kranix. Or
Yeah,
Kranix.
Or Kranix, and instantly feed him to what are called Sharkticons.
And yes, they are exactly what their name says they are.
Loosely.
Well, I put it this way: they look like if the street sharks were made by Dr. Arkaville and then basically and then had their faces dented in to make them look deformed.
To me, it looks more like if
Which again
Pac-Man.
gives them a real.
No. To me, they look like if Pac-Man cosplayed as Jaws.
That too.
Okay, Umbra Wolf. If you're watching this, you need to draw that now as a piece of fan art. I will commission it if I have to. I will literally pay you money to make that a thing. Mega Man as a Sharkticon.
No, I said Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. Yeah.
Oh.
Pac-Man.
That too.
But yeah. By the way, yeah. So Tom, you better link this to her when we're done.
I will.
Anyway,
I will.
So yeah. Well, Hot Rod and Cup are being given an unfair trial, a mockery of justice, if you could say, if you will.
Who said anything about justice?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dinobots, meanwhile, are looking for them, and they come across Tom's favorite character, Wheelie.
No, I just figured it out. He's the Kenny.
You know what? I'm not passionate enough to defend G1 Wheelie, so you know what, Tom? I will give you that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. I gotta do this bit. Just, my favorite.
So, yeah. Fortunately, Wheelie seems to know this place like the back of his hands and agrees to take the Dinobots to where they're handling their friends. And we get another, pretty high octane, but still fun action scene when Hot Rod and Cup are thrown to the Sharkticons. And, like, I don't know why, but I just love how it's like, they convert to vehicle mode and just start driving around the tank they're in to create a whirlpool.
Which realistically makes no fucking sense, but I don't care because it's awesome.
Yeah, well, also, it's a cartoon and anything goes.
That's true.
I mean, I get that, but I'm just saying it's like realistic. Oh, you know what? Why am I even bringing realism into this when the first two seasons of this the cartoon that came before this movie didn't really function in logic anyway?
Like, you're bringing this up now? What are you, me?
Exactly. Anyways.
Yeah, they're eventually saved by Dinobots, who managed to scare the Sharkticons into attacking their Quintesson masters.
Oh, this sadly would not last by the time the third season of the cartoon came around, but that's another story.
Yeah,
that's fortunately,
sort of
Wheelie
story
also manages. But anyway, fortunately, Wheelie basically points out the Quintesson ship, which they take to leave this Lovecraftian nightmare of a planet.
which I don't blame them. Anyways, while all that stuff was going on, Ultra Magnus and company were attacked by Galvatron and his crew, with Magnus trying to open the Matrix and basically make a heroic last stand. Unfortunately, the Matrix did not respond to Magnus. Magnus gets shot and blown literally to pieces, literally like he's made of frickin' Legos. I kid you not. Which Galvatron then takes the Matrix and leaves. The rest of our crew with Magnus are heartbroken, feeling that
I gotta say this because you said it like that. I just gotta play that scene, but this time just add the Lego disassemble sound and like a Lego death noise.
Yes, do that. No,
the Lego, the Lego Yoda death scream.
Oh.
Yes. But anyways,
what's even
so
crazier? Oh, sorry.
Well, we'll get on more into that here in a minute. But anyways, yeah. So our heroes are so needless to say, the rest of Magnus's crew are heartbroken, thinking he's dead. And then things get even worse for them when they're attacked by the residents of the planet, the Junkions, led by Rekgar, who, no kidding, folks, is voiced by Eric Wilde. As in the same
Idol.
Eric Idle, as in the same Eric Idle of Monty Python fame.
Yes,
yeah, wrap your head around that.
Which suddenly makes sense how he's able to reassemble himself. Now I just want somebody to do the whole Holy Grail bit of just Rekgar going, "'Tis but a scratch."
I mean, to be fair, Rekgar's whole thing is literally Monty Python humor.
No, but seriously, could you imagine that? Just him facing the Decepticons. "Oh, I'm invincible. You're a loony."
Yes.
But anyway, continue.
So the Junkions attack our heroes, thinking that they're there to give them problems, which, kind of makes sense, I guess. Best way I can describe the Junkions in this movie, folks, they are Junkion itself is literally like, it's
Australia.
basically. No, you know what it is? It's basically the world of fuck, why am I blanking on the name?
Mad Max.
Yeah, it's basically the world of Mad Max if it was an entire planet of if a planet was literally the cosmic dumping ground of the universe, because that's literally what it is.
Yeah, just like a planet of discarded metal, pretty much.
Yeah, it's again.
Yeah,
Australia,
these guys have eked out a living on it.
It's basically where nature. It's basically where God dumped all the things in nature that don't make any damn sense. It's where the British dumped people who wouldn't pay their taxes. Think about it.
Which, by the way, that's not hyperbole. That's actually historically accurate.
Yep.
Anyways, so it leads to a confrontation between the Junkions and our heroes when Hot Rod and company arrive, and Hot Rod, taking some cues from Cup, uses the universal greeting and manages to get the Junkions on their side, realizing, oh, they're not enemies, they're friends. And by the way, that universal greeting is "Ah weep gra na weep ninny bong." Feel free to laugh now.
Again, I refuse to believe that somebody didn't just end up saying that after having a bad acid trip.
Well, it was the 80s.
Yeah, again, 80s. What drugs were
Tom,
they
I need
taking
you to
in the writing room? Like, what drugs were they taking?
All I can say,
yes.
all I can say, if you do decide to make any edits to this, please add in that dialogue from War for Cybertron.
I will.
What was that? I don't think it worked.
Yeah, but no, seriously.
Anyways.
All I could just say is that, just fair warning, this movie can get aggressively 80s.
Oh, yeah, and we mean that in the best way possible.
Yes.
Like us talking about it is not doing it justice, folks. You really need to see this thing for yourselves to believe it.
Yeah.
You should, because that movie next year, as of 2026, is going to be turning 40. Feel
Really?
old yet?
Well, we weren't around during the 80s, so.
No, I still feel old thinking about it, though.
Well, then that's your own damn fault.
Oh, why? You're feeling it, too.
Fuck you.
Anyways, so Hot Rod convinces the Junkions to basically team up with them, to which they agree, and they're going to go off to handle Unicron. But first, the Junkions do our heroes a solid and literally put Magnus back together as if nothing happened.
I have
Yeah,
several
remember how
questions.
earlier we were yeah, because like remember how we mentioned earlier it's like, the tone whiplash, like characters just dying tragically and horribly, but then we get this scene of Magnus getting put back together and he's fine. Yeah, this is weird, isn't it?
It's just most of them was like, can you bring some of your casualties to this planet then and get them fixed up? I'm just saying.
Oh, we're not gonna do that.
No,
We're not gonna do
no,
that.
seriously, really?
Fine, figures.
I mean, you're seeing Peter's car getting repoed right now, right?
It's like, I mean, again, it's like we've seen the Junkions are good at bringing people back from the dead, even though that makes no sense. I mean, you could probably just bring Optimus's body here and they could patch him up like new. No? Really? Fine, it's y'all's funerals, not mine.
Really? Is anyone buying that? Is anyone buying that they just can't bring the others back and do the same thing? Would you buy that?
Okay, we need to.
No, you're
we
not
need to.
buying it. You're not fucking stupid.
All right, we need to move on because we're killing the joke. Anyways,
Yeah.
Tom, take the floor.
All right. So I guess after just that, they decide to blast back off. But meanwhile, Galvatron suddenly believes he has his get out of jail free card with Unicron, believing that he can use the power of the Matrix to now make Unicron the slave. But then he realizes that he is about as familiar with trying to open this thing as most people are familiar with trying to figure out where the batteries go in a new toy.
Denied.
So yeah, things go kind of sour. Unicron gets
Yeah, things.
exceptionally pissed and just decides, all right, motherfucker, I was trying to be nice. Now I'm gonna turn your whole planet into scrap.
And we get a really odd, like, I don't know why, but the scene of Unicron transforming is just awesome to me.
Because it is. It's like, oh shit.
I guess that's
Yeah, you thought
I
it
guess,
was just this giant immobile ball, this giant like ball. Nope, I'm a full-on robot, bitch.
What?
What
You
are
think
you,
I was
bitch?
just gonna fire a laser and destroy your planet? Who the hell do you think I am?
Insert picture of the Death Star. That's no sun. It's Star Killer Base. Anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, needless to say, Unicron is now pissed and begins trashing Cybertron, which leads to many Decepticon casualties, including Shockwave, although apparently he got off-screen to death.
Did you say they had? All right, did you say they actually had like a death scene planned for him?
Oh yeah, they actually did
I
have
think-
it. They actually did storyboard him getting crushed, but it got cut for time.
Uh,
A lot of things got cut for time in this movie.
Speaking of which, how long
Yeah.
is this movie again?
Almost 2 hours.
really, almost 2 hours? It doesn't feel that long.
No, which is surprising. This movie, like that's the thing. This movie never feels its length. But anyways,
Yeah, well, I mean,
So, yeah,
to be fair,
needless
the
to say,
entire
our
thing
heroes-
just feels the entire thing does feel like a booger sugar binge.
Anyway, Tom,
which
you
again,
wanna-
considering the target audience, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's how Chuck E. Cheese was successful. That's another story.
Anyway, move on.
Anyway, move.
I felt like
Anyway.
something
So yeah,
familiar.
our heroes finally see what that's going on, and yeah, even Cup, who has, I'm pretty sure has seen everything and could probably tell you where he buried Jimmy Hoffa, has said he's never seen anything like this in his life.
That was a
I
good
knew
joke.
that was coming.
What?
Which, by the way, I do like that. I do like that line. When Hot Rod just turns to him, he's like, "Doesn't this?" He's like, "Hey, Cup, does this remind you of anything?" He's like, "No, never seen anything like this before."
So naturally, with all the charisma of the main characters of an '80s summer college movie, they just decide, "Fuck it, we're gonna ram this bastard." Which, honestly, respect.
Agreed. It's like shooting him's not going to work. I know. Let's basically do the metaphorical equivalent of headbutting him.
Well,
Which,
considering they're in a ship that's shaped like a drill,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a sexual innuendo in there somewhere, but we're not going to go down that rabbit hole.
well,
Oh
Yeah,
god
but the-
damn it! We were
well,
doing
no.
so good with avoiding those.
plus it doesn't make sense because they ram right into his eye.
Don't don't ask, Justin. Just don't. Don't.
Okay.
So yeah, needless to say, our heroes are desperately trying to are fighting back against Unicron both inside and outside as the Dinobots try taking him on from the outside, only to basically get swatted like flies.
Which, I mean,
Literally.
to be
Don't worry,
fair,
they don't die.
well, I mean, to be fair, if I had a bunch of little things gnawing at my ass, I'd be pissed off too.
Exactly. We also get a pretty good scene where Daniel gets to rescue his dad and the other Autobots, as well as Bumblebee, Cliffjumper, and Jazz, though not before seeing several Decepticons, including who I'm assuming is Reflector, just die fucking horribly.
Yeah,
Again, I'll just
I
I think I'll just cut to the
Reflector.
clip of that. Remember, 80 and again, remember, this was meant to sell toys.
Also, remember, again, not kidding when I said this has the same rating as Frozen.
I've seen horror movies that portray less pain and suffering in victims than this.
Oh yeah, just like the scene when again, I'm pretty sure that was the Reflector trio being dropped into that vat of acid. But yeah, that was terrifying.
Why they go, Hasbro, why you gotta do this to my boy?
Don't worry, his time will come eventually. Not right now.
Granted, it will take several decades, but eventually he starts getting love.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck you.
What? We were on your side.
You
Anyways,
have to be so
hot-
backhanded
anyways,
about it.
Fair. Anyways, in the middle of all the chaos, Hot Rod and Galvatron end up in the same place, with Galvatron trying to basically form an alliance with Hot Rod, only for Unicron to be like, "Yeah, I don't think so. Kill him." Which Galvatron has no choice but to
Speak
basically
English,
attempt to
man.
basically
Speak
kill
fucking
Hot Rod.
English.
So yeah, Galvatron attempts to basically kill Hot Rod, including by choking the life out of him, which again makes no sense because they don't need to breathe, but whatever. And it's in this moment that Hot Rod finally comes into his own and activates the Matrix of Leadership, which turns him into Rodimus Prime. And we get the reprise of the touch, with Peter Cullen giving one last voice line as Optimus, basically being the Obi-Wan Kenobi of this movie, saying, "Arise, Rodimus Prime."
Well, I guess he managed to negotiate a way to get one more check to make sure he at least keeps his car for one more month.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Hot Rod becomes Rodimus, literally tosses Galvatron out of Unicron, like straight up just, "Be gone, thought," and opens the Matrix, which then proceeds to basically cause Unicron to have a seizure and blow up, and our heroes escape just in the nick of time.
I'm pretty sure that's
That's
what all
bad.
the cholesterol in Orson Welles' veins did to him in real life. Okay, that was horrible. I'll admit it. That was okay.
Maybe, but
I admit that was a bridge too far.
Maybe, but at the same time, not gonna lie, Tom, you might be onto something there. Maybe this is allegory. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm
I
going
mean, it
to-
was said that on set they were secretly joking about the irony of, big fat guy like Orson Welles, voicing basically a giant robot planet that eats other planets.
Oh, you know what? If anyone,
Yeah.
you know what? It's a debate if I keep that joke in, but if I do, and if you laughed at it, I'll save you a spot in hell next to me.
Anyways, so the movie concludes with Hot Rod saying that the Autobot Decepticon war is finally over. Spoiler alert, it's not. The movie ends with Unicron's disembodied head now settling into orbit around Cybertron as a new moon. Happy ending!
Yeah, I was just imagining. And cut. Check the gate. All right, guys, that was really good. Now we'll reconvene over here after we sit with the box office and. Oh no!
As we alluded to earlier, this movie did not perform well at the box office.
Yeah, at least not as they were hoping for. Definitely not enough for them to, again, make it a full-on movie series, or let alone
Yeah,
a trilogy.
this definitely led to some budgetary issues going into some future projects, and Oh boy, can
They com-
you tell? Oh, here's the thing that
Now,
happened. They switched from Sunbow to some Korean animation studio for season 3. And I imagine Korea was like, "Wow, we don't even have to make a Korean Transformers. They're letting us do the real McCoy."
oh my god, that shouldn't have got me as hard as it did.
Okay, that was also
Oh,
another really good one.
that was good, bro.
You guys okay?
Yeah. Anyway,
Yes.
yeah. Anyways, so yeah, but before we start talking about the nitty gritty, real quickly, you know, I guess we could save ultimately our final thoughts for. Well, I guess we could save this for final thoughts when we get to it. So, I guess we could start with like what our overall thoughts on the plot were. Like Tom, since this is your channel, why don't you start us off?
My thoughts are I think this movie did a lot of really bold things to to try to change up the formula because admittedly it was just getting it was a real lather rinse repeat with every episode. But
Fair.
so yeah, I was very impressed with both the just jump in the animation, the
Oh yeah.
seriousness it got. You know, the exact reasoning behind it. You can't deny that the writers were able to come up with something really good despite the circumstances. Take note, Game of Thrones directors. Not
He's like,
sorry.
you're gonna take every chance you can to dump on that show, aren't you?
Any
Yeah, right.
opportunity I
He
can,
is.
any opportunity I can take to just make George R. R. Martin feel smaller than the real McCoy of fantasy. I will fucking take it.
Right.
Just like how the fat electrician will take every opportunity he can to remind that the Yamato was a sucky ass ship and now it's a coral reef.
Which and again, like I would just like to point out that we managed to get a fully released and fully functional EA game before George R. R. Martin decided to finish his fucking book series. My money's on
Yeah.
GTA 6 releasing next.
Yeah. So anyway,
Oh
About
wait,
that. About that.
I'm
No
still
kidding.
I'm still betting on that horse. Anyway, to get but no, seriously, like all in all, I was very impressed. But that does not mean this movie is flawless.
no, it most certainly
Agreed.
is not.
And we'll
I
and
mean,
we will get into that soon. And we're gonna get into that soon. But anyways, Justin, you have the floor since you're going next.
well, again, yeah, I will admit this did make a lot of bold decisions. Again, really trying to do things that they couldn't have done in the show. I'm not just saying the character deaths, but like other things as well. And it does have a lot of like again, the animation is really solid. This is probably like some of the best animation in any Transformers, at least 2D animation, because unless we're counting Transformers 1, because again, that's also amazing animation, but as far as 2D animation, I mean.
Agreed. Like I think the only 2D Transformers show that comes close to being as good looking as this movie is honestly for me Transformers Armada.
Yeah. But yeah, and like it has a lot of fun action scenes. The use of the type of music used might date this movie, but screw it. I love 80s music, so
Agreed.
I'm not gonna knock it. And I do love just about every song on this soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like there's a lot of original songs on this soundtrack, but there's also a really good soundtrack by Vince DiCola himself, including a
Oh
variation of the
yeah.
Transformers theme song that is briefly played in the movie, but you can hear in its entirety on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes. I especially love the theme he did for Unicron. That theme is just awesome.
Oh yeah, it
I
is
mean, just oh
phenomenal.
yeah, folks, to give an idea of how iconic the Unicron theme is, Rise of the Beasts actually pays homage to it in the opening.
That
I
they
know,
do.
right?
That they do.
If that doesn't scream how iconic this movie really is for Transformers, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
And
and
So I guess I'll go next. So to basically add on to y'all's point, just to give my own quick thoughts before we start. dissecting and getting into all the nitty gritty, the good and the bad. I agree. This movie, for the time it was made, it it took a lot of bold decisions. To a point, I think they had some, like, they definitely went into it having faith that it would work out, which, yeah, it didn't at the time. I think we can all agree.
But you got to give them
But,
credit because not a lot of people, especially in Hollywood, are willing to take risks like that and just
oh,
kind of
yes,
cross
but
their and then just like cross their fingers and hope it pays off.
it's like, yeah, at the time, unfortunately, this movie did not do well. And again, it's not hard to see why, but we'll get more onto that
Also
here in
was
just a bit.
also wasn't.
But,
Oh yeah, we'll get to that
but
later.
at the same token, as we mentioned earlier, this movie, ever since, like I said, this movie turns 40 next year in 2026, folks. And yet this movie is still so beloved and iconic. Like, it has gained, like Tom mentioned, even if you're not a Transformers fan, chances are you have at least heard of this film because it has impacted nerd culture so much that it has gained a massive cult following behind it. And it's
I mean,
not hard to see why.
hell, this was actually my first introduction to the G1 Transformers. I already knew about the Transformers and because like, I watched a few. I didn't really religiously watch like the shows that came on in my lifetime. I didn't really become a Transformers fan until I saw the first Michael Bay movie. Yeah, yeah, grab your torches and pitchforks, Furious.
Right.
But
Don't
yeah,
worry, we'll tackle that. We'll tackle that subject next week.
this was my first introduction to the G1 Transformers, and so it definitely has a soft spot in my heart. Flaws and
So
all.
basically, so basically, what we're saying is, despite its flaws, we still think it's good. But again, we're still obviously going to dissect and go over what we think works, what doesn't work, talk about the characters and all that stuff, just because we are that over analytical of bastards.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the first things we'll do real quick is I guess we'll tackle some of the things that I guess not necessarily just don't work, but I guess like one of the things we can talk about, just because I think it's a good point to start off with, because it's one of the big things about this movie is, the choice to kill off so many beloved characters. So who wants to take the floor on this one first?
I'll start.
Okay,
Go ahead, Justin.
you're in the driver's seat on this one, Justin.
Yeah. Because again, I give them credit that it was kind of ballsy, but it's like at the same time, uh, like, because didn't you say Hasbro themselves didn't really realize like how much like the kids watching this show like were attached to these characters?
Oh yeah, like you got to understand, folks, at the time when like this was still the early years of Transformers as a brand. So for the first 2 years, with 1984 and 85 respectively, all of the Autobots and Decepticons that were made into toys were featured in the comic and the cartoon. Hasbro just saw them as, well, what they realistically were at the time, product. And when that product no longer was selling like hotcakes, it discontinued it. The problem was, by this point, when this movie came out and they killed off so many beloved characters, especially, we'll get more on this here in a bit, Optimus Prime, that was when it really sank into them like, oh, oh shit. Oh, we fucked up big time.
I will say at least characters like Brawn, Ironhide, Ratchet, Prowl, and of course Otto, at least they got proper death scenes. Fucking Wheeljack fucking dies off screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wheeljack gets off screen to death, which just makes me go, how the fuck did that happen? Same thing
Yeah.
with
Along with Windcharger, but who gives a shit about Windcharger?
that one random person in the comments. Hey, I do. No, you don't.
I joke though.
Oh
I
no,
was, about, I was
obviously
about
we
to
do.
say, you say that, but I'm going to be getting an earful in my comments.
I'm just fucking around, dude. We're just having fun.
Probably.
We're just joshing.
I
But
know.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it is kind of sucky that the whole reason these guys were killed off was again for productivity reasons.
yeah,
But again,
because
it's like at
again,
the
it's
same time, you can't say it wasn't effective.
oh no, I mean
No.
especially I mean like again, like we mentioned it,
In
we
many
talked about it
ways,
kind of at the beginning. we talked about it at the beginning, but like the opening scene with like the Decepticons killing off, Brawn, Prowl, Ratchet, and Ironhide. That was a scene that, like I said, first time watching it, I think all of us can agree we were like, wait, what?
Exactly.
Like, especially, I mean, Tom, I don't blame you. It's like Prowl's death, especially, just makes you go, oh God, why? That's
That was
horrible.
downright scary. Just like his face going black and the smoke coming out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Just like, good lord.
And again, people complain about the Michael Bay movies brutally killing off characters. Like, again, 86 did it first, so I don't want to hear fucking nothing.
Yeah, you're still gonna hear it though.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we
I
most
know.
certainly will. You know what? Bring it on, motherfuckers.
Wait,
Right?
no, don't bring it to my channel.
Too late.
I'm just saying, and we're just saying he's right here, folks.
God,
Pointing to you on the screen, Tom.
fuck you asshole.
Anyways, so
Before we move on, I just want to say like about that scene. Also, Instruments of Destruction fucking slaps.
Oh,
as far as
yeah.
I love how the fandom has just unanimously agreed this is the Decepticons' national anthem.
Yeah. Also,
Yep.
I don't know if this counts, but I've seen some people do this. I could say this is one of the best villain songs of all time.
Agreed. I
Oh.
count it as a villain song because, again, considering what the Decepticons are doing in this scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I've seen a few people. Like I just bring this up because I saw a few people on DeviantArt who like do like lists of their top favorite villain songs in movies, and I can't remember the name of the person, but they put Instruments of Destruction on there, and I'm just like, you know what, fair.
That is incredibly accurate.
That is that is that is incredibly fair and valid. I count it as a villain song.
Yeah.
Hell
But yeah, it's like, I mean, like we said, like to give the opening deaths of those Autobot characters credit, again, like we said, even though it's major tone whiplash, it's like it's weird because, like, yeah, again, it's tonal whiplash because, again, you look back at the first two seasons of the cartoon, characters get shot all the time and they're fine. Now all of a sudden we're actually being confronted with death. It's like it's almost like Hasbro was like, you know what, since this is going to be a big budget movie, I mean, granted, an animated film, but a film nonetheless, we can actually afford to be a lot more brutal than we can with a kid's show. So it's almost like, just think about it. We could have had a world, folks, where the G1 cartoon could have the same kind of storytelling and stakes as something like Beast Wars or Transformers Prime. Think about that. I mean, that's what I want. That's what I'm trying to do with our project, Regeneration 1. Which, yes, I know there have been other things that have used that title. This is just our take on it, folks. We'll
If
talk about that
Hasbro
some
can
other
reuse
time.
robots in disguise for three separate medias, then fuck it. We're gonna use Regeneration 1.
Fuck yeah. Anyways,
Yes, what Transformers
like,
fan wouldn't want to do their own take on the original classic?
agreed. But anyways, I guess we'll talk about this real quick because, like, I mean, obviously all the deaths in this movie, at least the ones that we see, are impactful. But obviously, the most impactful death scene, I would argue, is the death of Optimus Prime.
Yeah, how impactful? Well, there was a story of a kid who saw this movie who literally, like, after leaving the theater crying, locked himself in his room.
Yeah, literal. And look, I know some people will say like, "Oh, like it's just kid, it's just a cartoon. Get over it." It's like, folks, I speak on behalf of these guys, and I'm pretty sure they're going to add their 2 cents into. But it's like you got to understand, like even though we were born way after this generation, like we weren't there for Transformers for the beginning, but as longtime fans in our own rights, I think all of us can agree that's like, yeah, the death of Optimus Prime was like the death of Superman. It was that impactful.
I'd argue that his
Because
death was up there with the deaths of Superman and Godzilla.
agreed. Like,
Yes.
like,
I mean, he's about as iconic. I'd say Optimus Prime is as iconic as those characters. So yeah.
I mean, let me put it this way: in terms of fictional characters that are like goated heroes that you look up to as role models, for For me, the big three are Superman, Captain America, Optimus Prime. There you go. You have your dream team.
Yeah.
Oh
Also,
yeah.
just check out in the VC in the showroom text chat. I'm sharing a couple of images.
Oh yeah.
Never,
Yeah, if you
never,
thought, yeah, if the
never.
death wasn't bad enough, just remember in season 3 of the original series. Oh my God! I swear to God,
They brought Optimus back as a zombie.
if I go into IMDb and I find out that that episode came out on Halloween, I'm gonna cry laughing.
Right? But yeah, like that. Yeah, no joke, folks. There's a one of the episodes in season 3 literally has the Quintessons sending essentially what is the zombie body of Optimus Prime to try and torment Hot Rod into handing over to them the Matrix of Leadership. And then we see him die a second time. It's like pouring salt in an open wound. It's like, yeah, needless to say, this was the point where Hasbro really got in trouble because they got a lot of angry parent letters from they got a lot of letters from angry parents about this. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you need to stop torturing my poor baby. Bring back that red and blue truck robot.
I think that was the point where Hasbro realized the plot has been lost.
Yeah. Well, again, like going back to like what I mentioned earlier, Hasbro really wasn't aware of just how, much, the fans were attached to like the characters, more specifically Optimus.
Well,
And
it
Hunter,
makes
would you like to
well,
take the? Would you? All right, I was saying, would you like to take the
yeah.
floor on
Oh yeah,
this?
sure. Absolutely. It's like, but honestly, adding on to what Justin is saying, since I'm being given the floor here, it makes sense that for a lot of kids that Optimus, why Optimus was such an important figure for a lot of kids and why they latched onto him as a hero. Because, as Tom mentioned, in the first 2 seasons of the cartoon, Optimus was portrayed not just as leader of the Autobots, but like he was also portrayed as a warm father figure, like somebody that you could relate to. Like he wasn't just leading his because the thing about Optimus Prime, especially when he's well written, is that he does not view himself as a hero. He just views himself as a guy trying to do the right thing. And if anything, that's what just makes him a greater hero. Those who do not view themselves as above everyone, like Optimus Prime doesn't, it makes sense that, and not to mention, you got to remember, for a lot of kids, especially back then, you had, like, when it comes to the nuclear family dynamic, you have mom who stays home with the kids, at least in most cases, while dad is the one that has to go off for 8 to 12 hours a day, potentially, depending on what the job was, basically just to put food on food on the table for his family, because, obviously you got to take care of your family. So for a lot of kids of the 80s, Optimus Prime was kind of like your dad when dad was away at work.
Yeah.
I mean, again, like Peter Cullen clearly had fun playing this character, and I mean, for crying out loud, one of my favorite lines from season 2 in particular, amazing. A booby trap that actually catches boobies. I guarantee you, probably had to redo that so many times just because nobody could keep a straight face.
Yes. Well, yeah, definitely the thing that made Optimus, come into his own in the original cartoon was definitely Peter's performance.
So yeah, to see this character that, think about, like I said, Optimus Prime, part of the reason why he's one of the most iconic heroes in fiction and why I compared him earlier to the likes of Captain America and Superman is because what makes Optimus such a great hero is the fact that, he's good just for the sake of being good, and that's the only motivation he needs.
Well, sorry. But, that pretty much, sums up to what Peter Cullen said, when he first auditioned to play Optimus, what the advice his brother Larry gave him.
Yeah, if you're going to be a hero,
he's strong
real
enough
hero,
to be gentle.
Yep.
And those words really resonated with Peter, folks, because Peter even said, like, when he went to the line reading for the G1 cartoon, to voice, for Optimus. He said the whole ride over, he was just thinking about what his brother had told him. He's like, because originally Peter was going to have Optimus talk with like a kind of Southern cowboy drawl, sort of like a John Wayne character. Though after hearing what his brother Larry had said, he decided against it. Though he would reuse that for Ironhide. So instead, when he's voicing when Peter voices Optimus in the show, it's more like he said. As I was reading the lines, it went from being how I was originally going to be it from I am Optimus Prime to
Oh God! Oh dear! Oh dear!
it's Optimus.
Sorry, it's just.
Oh, Tom, up this mic.
No, my boom arm is falling over again.
Did the pup? Oh, did the puppy break in again?
No.
Okay.
This thing just likes to loosen up and topple over sometimes.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, it's like it's no wonder why the death of Optimus Prime impacted an entire generation of kids. Like, no joke, people. By the time, like I said, at the scene where Optimus dies, by that point, so many kids wanted to leave the theater just because they were crying and they were just inconsolable. That's not even, and no, that's not me being hyperbolic. That's literally from firsthand records.
Yes. I mean, heck, even that kid who locked himself in his room, wasn't that even like covered in the newspapers as well?
Yeah, like dude,
I imagine nobody wanted to tell him about that one episode of season 3. Good lord.
Oh gee.
God. I feel like that episode was the equivalent of like Rocksteady making Suicide Squad killed the Justice League and having those tributes to Arlene Sorkin and Kevin Conroy, where it's like, oh, everyone's gonna hate us now. Like, yeah, we do. But anyways, so it's like, needless to say, the death of Optimus Prime was the thing that really, I think, kind of hurt this movie. Because, like, we're going to talk more about the death of Optimus Prime in 2 other movies after this, but don't get me wrong, in a lot of ways, this is still an iconic death. And like you said earlier, Justin, to give credit where it's due, Peter really gave this death scene his all.
I mean, heck, he even said in like the interview, he says, well, if they're gonna kill him off, I might as well make it memorable.
What also I think helps this scene, its effectiveness, is again Vince DiCola's music score, because oh my god, I know I'm gonna sound like I know I'm gonna sound like a big baby when I say this, boys, but like every time I watch this scene, I can't help but get a little teary-eyed, even though I know what's gonna happen, well in advance. I still
a good score hits you like a ton of bricks.
Oh yeah, and definitely Vince DiCola's the music he made for Optimus Prime stuff. Yeah, that really pulls at your heart there.
Yeah. Also,
as well as Daniel Witwicky just saying, "Prime, you can't die."
Yes.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I found an image that perfectly personifies what happened after going from the movie to that new animation studio for season 3, and
oh yeah, they went with Toei.
Oh Jesus.
Yes.
But to be fair, they're not that bad. Admittedly, not as good, but I've seen worse.
That had the same energy as me saying that in Gamera Super Monster. That couldn't have possibly been a full-on Star Destroyer, and you guys showed me the images.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was good times.
Like I said, this movie was way more sly about it than a lot of others.
Oh yeah, it's pretty clear, like we mentioned at the beginning, like there's a ton of Star Wars influence in this movie, and yet it's not. It doesn't make you hate it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not super.
It's not super in your face, but although I will say, I think the closest two for me that clearly show the Star Wars influence are, like I said, RC having Princess Leia style buns on her head design, and Unicron is very clearly based on the Death Star. Only instead of shooting a laser, he eats planets.
Yeah. Also, if we're talking about like the Star Wars influences, I don't know if this is like a full on influence, but but like the scene was after they escape, after they leave Earth, there's like the scene where Hot Rod's like training with that drone. It, like
Oh
first
yeah,
time
that's
seeing
very.
that, it kind of reminded me, of like Luke training with the little blaster thing there.
Yeah, with the
Oh
training
yeah,
remote.
that's
Yeah,
that's clearly what it was influenced by. Like you cannot tell me otherwise. Again,
yeah, me
if
neither.
anything,
Because
it really just
that's what I
it really
thought
shows
even
the
when I first saw it.
really shows the it really shows the influence the original Star Wars had on the entertainment industry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially in like the '80s. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
though I got to admit, it was super funny when it's like when he like grabs it, and the drone just goes time out, time out, time out.
Yeah. So I guess in continuing with talking about things that
Don't really
both work
work
and
that well.
don't
Yeah.
work,
Oh,
they
yeah.
can I guess this can help us segue into talking about the new characters and whether or not they work within the context of this film and just their overall impact on Transformers as a whole. The question is, where do we start?
Hmm.
We
Good
start with
question.
Hot Rod since he's technically the main character.
I was thinking maybe we save him for last because I feel like there's a lot to dissect there.
Okay. How about
So
we
I guess,
start with RC because I think out of all of them, she's the one that's made the most, appearances afterwards.
and to be fair, she has had a big impact. I guess I'll take the floor on this one real quick just to give a little context, if you guys don't mind.
Sure.
Go ahead, man. You got the driver's seat.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say that, thank you to Chris McFeely, the GOAT on when it comes to the basics on Transformers for providing this information. We're not sponsored by the man or anything, but please go check him out. He deserves way more subscribers than he has. And if you're financially able to, please support the guy on Patreon. But again, it's only if money you're not afraid of losing.
Yep.
Anyways,
We love
so
you. We're
the
just
main
we're just
right
saying we love you, Chris.
hell yeah. Anyways, plug aside. So yeah, the lead writer on Transformers the movie, one Rod Friedman, which by the way, Rod, you did an amazing job with this movie, and this is coming from like guys that were born way after this movie's time. And so the fact that we're congratulating you is proof that you had an impact, man.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Ron Friedman actually had to like when it came to all the new character because he helped to create a lot of the new characters for this movie, including RC. And here was the thing. Now, at the time when Hasbro first launched Transformers, they had made it specifically clear, folks, that they didn't want any female characters in their boys' toy line. Which again is weird because it's like it didn't stop the female characters in G.I. Joe from selling like hotcakes, but I digress. It's like here's the thing. Originally, the character of Ratchet was supposed to be female. In fact, his name, Ratchet, was a reference to Nurse Mildred Ratchet from the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But again, Hasbro was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. And here was the thing. They were initially going to basically cut RC from the movie, but Ron Friedman fought tooth and nail to keep this character in, and thank Primus he did, because holy crap, RC had a huge impact on Transformers, folks, because like I covered this on our when we did that the G1 Transformers character tier list we did a long while back. But RC is literally the reason why female Transformers, including many of the ones we know and love today, including Alita 1, Chromia, Moonracer, Firestar, and even newcomers like Slipstream and Windblade exist.
Yeah.
Because literally, Mr. Friedman basically told Hasbro, look, I get it. Transformers is aimed at boys, but my daughter loves this kind of stuff. There are little girls that are into this stuff too. Why not have a character that they can relate to? So Hasbro finally relented. And keep in mind, at this point, they hadn't introduced female characters into the show yet, but it was because of RC getting greenlit for the movie that Alita 1, Moonracer, Chromia, and even freaking Nightbird exist. So yeah, RC had a huge impact on the brand.
I'm glad for that. Good. RC is
That
basically.
being
All right.
okay, go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say RC's pretty much become a fan favorite.
Agreed. That said, though, the only downside to her here is that she doesn't really do a whole lot in this movie.
Yeah.
Like I said, her
she just
role
seems
is
to be there to just
her
be
role is
kind of the. basically just be the
Yeah,
token girl character.
I mean, I will say I like the fact that she kind of has like this surrogate big sister guardian role with Daniel Witwicky, and I love that that was continued in the 3rd season of the show.
Yeah.
Like, what are your boys' thoughts on RC? Like, do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Like,
I
what
mean,
are your
I
thoughts here,
agree.
boys?
I mean, I agree. I mean, I do like G1RC, but yeah, like we said, she is basically just there to be the token, like the token girl character, and yeah, other versions of RC that have come before have definitely, have more to them.
Well,
But
well,
at the same
I'm
time,
after, but
yeah, come after. I'm an idiot. But yeah, that being
I,
said, there is a reason why she's kind of become an icon in the franchise, and as well as a fan favorite.
L
Aside,
to the yeah, brother.
again, aside from being again just the first female auto, transformer, or again, like you said, she does have that kind of nurturing, almost big sister type personality. She's definitely like a very like warm and caring character. Like again, like I said, like a big sister or even like a mother, I guess you could even say.
For sure, for
And
sure.
plus her voice actress, Sue Blue does a really good job. And she also did a good
Oh
job
yeah,
when she returned as RC in Transformers Animated.
That
oh
she
yeah. That's
did.
like let's not forget that this character literally is why Sue Blue has been involved with Transformers, because no joke, folks, our Susan Blue, aka Sue Blue, not only did she voice RC, but years later she would be the voice director for several major Transformers shows, including but not limited to Beast Wars, Beast Machines, Transformers Animated, and Transformers Prime.
Yes.
I'll be damned.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is
yeah.
amazing.
Like again, she owes this franchise a lot, and she is like, it's clear that like when you listen to her talk about Transformers, like it's clear that she's just as big a nerd for this stuff as we are. And you know what? That warms my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like Tom, you've been pretty quiet. Like, why don't you give your thoughts regarding RC? We don't want you to feel left out, man.
Yeah, I don't know, guy. I just feel like I don't really have all that much to add on compared to what you guys had, but I guess I will say that she
Fair.
did, as a prelude, she was able to give us the stepping stones to a lot other female Autobot characters that we met in the 2nd season, and like you guys said, the female Transformer characters we would get in in the future.
In the twin. I guess one thing we could talk about real quick. What do you guys think about her vehicle mode, the futuristic sports coupe? I guess I don't know what it's supposed to
Um,
be.
Well, like
Definitely a product of 80s future car aesthetic, but I am glad
yeah,
that lately there have been attempts to kind of reimagine that classic shape with a more plausible vehicle design.
yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Well, I might be the odd man. Oh,
look at Earthspark RC. Like the fact that she turns into an Oldsmobile. It's like, you know what? This is
that's
actually
pretty
pretty
dope.
cool.
Yeah. Well, I
Something
might be
about
the
that
old
is
man out.
charming.
Oh, yeah, it is. I might be the bit of the odd man out though. For some reason, I always prefer RC as a motorcycle.
Nothing wrong with that
That
either.
makes. No, I mean to be fair, I'm kind of in the same boat, but every now and then I still like to see car RC make a return.
Oh
Yeah.
no, oh no, I'm the same way. Which yeah, again in Earthspark, yeah, the Oldsmobile, well, a strange choice. They surprisingly managed to make it work.
It kind of
Again,
fits with her character in that show, considering she's very different,
And they're
shall we say.
Southern.
very energetic.
I know, and I love it.
All right.
Anyways, so I guess we'll move on from RC to. Hmm. So we can
Let's
talk
say,
about Blur next.
yeah, I was about to say we saved the big blue for last, but yeah, I guess we can talk about Blur, which I mean, arguably hasn't had as many chances to stretch his legs as some of his other compatriots, but he still manages to make those right amount of appearances where you do get excited to see him again.
Oh yeah,
Agreed. Oh, we
especially in
forgot to
animated
mention
where
this.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we forgot to mention this earlier, folks, but this is to tie into what Justin's saying here when regarding animated. For this movie, though not the cartoon, at least the third season, Blur was actually voiced by none other than John Machida Jr., who at the time, and still currently, from what I understand, at least he did for several years until he finally got dethroned. Yes, I did a fact checked on this, but yeah, at the time, he held the record for being the world's fastest talker. So it kind of made perfect casting choice to have someone like that voice a character like Blur.
Which is
Oh,
kind of
definitely.
ironic because if you guys saw that video I once posted like years back, I shared with you guys where it goes over like some of the original idea for the movie, where it states that Blur was originally going to be a guy who moves fast but talks slow. Apparently, he was going to have a very Jimmy Stewart like mannerism to him.
I
Boy, did
admit
that
that
not
would have been
stick.
well, that would. I mean, that would have been funny, but if I'm being honest, I actually prefer what we got instead.
I do
It
too,
just
because
makes
again, John Machine's Jr.'s Blur voice is just
Iconic.
pretty much become it's basically just become a staple of the character.
Yeah.
again, especially like when we
Especially,
get to animated, where John got to reprise the role again.
yes, exactly. Still proving he can talk that fast, and I don't know how you do it, John.
Could you repeat that last part?
Some people,
I just said I don't
which
know
last
how.
part?
Everything after my name's not Zippy.
Oh,
I loved that.
okay.
But yeah, like Blur is like I will say, Blur doesn't, admittedly, Blur also doesn't really get to do a whole lot, despite the whole thing as he was made for this movie. But that being said, he would get to shine in the third season of the show at points.
Yeah.
He did have his
I will.
standout moments.
We got something else in the air. We got something else in the game. Something. uh,
Jesus,
it's like again. It's like again. John. I don't know how the hell you do it, man. Oh, good lord.
Like drink.
Anyways,
Yeah, what do you drink? Like 20 cups of coffee a day, like before a performance?
probably. Nah. If I'm being honest, some people are just built different like that, man.
yep.
I guess. Either that or he has lungs the size of train cars.
Right. Uh, I guess next we'll move on to. I guess we'll talk about Wheelie real quick because I feel like we're not really going to have a whole lot to say here. Either.
No.
Honestly, I think he's a character. Honestly, I think he's a character that's like not. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I think he's annoying, but I don't think I hate him as much as you do, Tom.
I'm in the same boat as you, Justin. I don't
I mean, I
hate
get why
Wheelie, but
he's there. I mean, I get it. He's because it's good. I mean, to be fair, he is kind of like meant to be a character that the really young audiences can relate to. Because I think just see the whole idea is that he is kind of the Transformer equivalent of a child.
Oh yeah, that's very clearly portrayed in the
I'm
movie,
sorry, but come
for
on,
better or
bald cap,
worse.
and let's face it, bald cap, and they basically colored him to have short shorts. He's a fucking Kenny.
It's
Yes.
like, yeah, if I'm honestly, Justin, I'm in the same vein as you when it comes to Wheelie. It's like I don't hate him, like hate him, but I'm also just not passionate enough about him to defend him either. It's like
Yeah, me neither.
he
So, in
just
all honesty, oh, sorry.
the best thing I guess what we're trying to say about Wheelie here, folks. We're not trying to move on super quick, but it's like the best way to sum up Wheelie. He exists. Fine.
Yeah.
He's
So I will
functional.
say,
He
yeah.
he takes up space.
So I will say this: I wouldn't be opposed for Hasbro to, well, not only bring him back, but also, again, go with again the whole idea of him basically being a, Transformer child, but like try to do it in a better way. Because again, as I think we've learned, there's no such thing as a bad idea, just bad execution.
Well, that is something I will always believe it wholeheartedly. Is there's never such a thing as a bad idea, just bad executions. And like I said, like we said, I get what they were going for with Wheelie. I really do. And again, it's not a bad idea. It's just the execution, I think, is what hurt it. Because
Actually, didn't
admittedly, the whole Because admittedly, the whole him speaking exclusively in rhyme thing can get kind of old real quick.
Yeah. Granted, did some of the comics like do a pretty good take on like this take on Wheelie?
I mean, he was in IDW's comics, but admittedly, he never really got to be a major character. Though at least there, okay, IDW gave him a reason for why he speaks in rhyme, and it's because he in his own Spotlight adventure story, Spotlight Wheelie. He crash lands on a planet while being pursued by Reflector,
Uh,
and he encounters a native on the planet, and the natives of this planet speak exclusively in rhyme. So Wheelie just kind of picked it up and just basically made
If
it
I
his
were to
own.
ever
Which
read
it's
that
like,
comic, you guys could probably imagine me just looking at Reflector like, yes, kill him.
yeah. Unfortunately they're the ones that die.
God damn it!
Well, here's the thing: two of them die in the crash.
Hasbro,
Here's the weird.
why
Although here's the
do
weird.
you hate me?
Here's the really weird part about that, Tom. And I'm not trying to get off topic intentionally, but it's like, here's the thing: Reflector then would turn up during the events of All Hail Megatron, somehow still alive, only for that to later get retconned that the reason that was because of time travel, and they still end up dying anyway. Which I'm like, okay, like at this point, it really is just getting confusing.
but also like, what was the one comic series that came before the IDW ones?
Dreamwave.
Dreamwave, yeah. Didn't they like do some like unique stuff with Wheelie?
Yeah, yeah, he was in their comics. What I remember, because I read Dreamwave stuff about a year or so ago now, and it's like, from what I remember, he didn't really talk a whole lot.
Yeah.
Like, I think the idea that they were going for with him was that, he was kind of traumatized because of stuff that he had witnessed. Though in an adorable, in what is actually kind of adorable, he has like essentially he has an owner pet relationship with the Sharkticon Gnaw, because he literally treats Gnaw like his dog, and it's legitimately heartwarming and also extremely terrifying.
It's like, this is my dog. Dog. It's like, ow, you punched me. Nah, sick him.
It's like, this is my dog. Urgh. He's weird.
Hey, don't worry, my
He's a
dog
hybrid.
don't bite the dog.
It's your fucking dog, bitch. It don't bite. Yes, it do.
I like this. Did you guys ever see? I'm sorry, I just want to bring this up. You guys ever see? What is it? Someone did the thing. It was like a thing in like animated style where it was like Wheelie, Gnaw, and Blur, but it was like recreating that scene from Lilo and Stitch. When like
Oh my
You know,
god!
Oh yes, I know exactly.
When
I know
Stitch
exactly
throws
what
a
you're
book at
talking about.
Bubbles.
Yes, that is.
Which Stitch?
yeah, when they're Lilo like has Stitch put his like claw on the record player and opens his mouth and starts playing music. And they did that with Wheelie and Daw, where he's like showed it to Blur. I love that the song they're playing is The Touch.
Yes,
Honestly, that's an idea they should do. Like, introduce, bring
agree.
back Wheelie and Gnaw, and basically
Ow.
make them the Lilo and Stitch of Transformers.
Ow!
I will say, the later version of Wheelie that we will talk about, in some ways, I like more than this one. But there are also, in some ways, I like this Wheelie more than Bayverse Wheelie. It's kind of a weird paradox.
Yeah, it's weird how some things work like that. Anyway,
Like,
yeah,
no, I agree. But like, before we move on, I will say I agree with you, Justin. I would not be opposed to bringing this version of Wheelie back in some capacity. Just make some necessary changes, like actually play around with the idea that he's meant to be a kid. Just maybe drop the whole rhyming gimmick and just, I don't know, like, I guess one thing they could do is like maybe kind of make him like Squeaks from The Last Night, because that's an idea I've toyed with.
I've thought about that idea too.
But anyways, so we'll move on from Wheelie, and I guess we'll talk about Springer next.
Yes.
Thank
Tom,
God.
you want to take the floor?
All right. It's always an interesting thing I learned about. Sorry, I was grabbing a snack. Here's an interesting thing I
Very
learned
good.
about Springer from his basics video.
Yes.
First of all, apparently when they were coming up with his personality, they initially gave him something similar of like a Harrison Ford character. You know, something like Indiana Jones, kind of an adventurer.
Oh, and to be
Which
fair, it does show in the movie with his badass one-liners.
that he
Yes.
does, you know,
Got
kind of
better
like the
things
action
to do
hero
than-
type deal, which I thought
I
was
got better things to do tonight than die.
yes,
Alright.
the line that every fan creator is obliged to use whenever they have Springer in their works.
Yes, but let's not
Not
talk
naming
about
names.
that. Yes,
Carlos.
naming names.
I'm just gonna edit like my night helmet just having like a fucking Vietnam flashback to editing editing the fucking video. All right,
Yes.
but
Anyways,
oh god, oh god, the hours I'll never get back in my fucking life aside. Um, but yeah, I thought Springer was really cool. I was glad to finally see a triple changing Autobot.
Yes,
Oh,
I actually
yeah.
thought I actually find the car helicopter combo to be a really good one.
Dude, I always loved it. I especially love how they did it in IDW. I still have his Thrilling 30 toy, which is fantastic.
Nice.
hell yeah, brothers. Dude, that toy is amazing, and unfortunately,
yeah,
I had to get rid of mine, so I want to get a replacement.
Honestly, what makes me so sad is that Springer just doesn't seem to get that same chance to stretch his legs like so many of his 1986 cohorts did. I'd love
Yeah,
to
'cause I
see
think
Springer in a show again.
Yeah, because I think the best Springer got in terms of like being like reused was in the IDW comics.
Which we're not going to say too much, but holy crap, does he have a story?
Yes.
But also, and also
But-
just the fact that
But to be
despite
fair, you
not being
cannot.
in-
To be fair, you can't deny though. IDW did more with him than Hasbro's doing right now.
No argument there. But one thing I absolutely love is that despite only really getting that big break from IDW, he is still clearly a core part of that memory of Generation One that so many of us have, and as a result, gotten some pretty cool modernized toys from the Studio Series 86 line and even the War for Cybertron trilogy.
It's just a shame that that design never got to get used in the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and like
Oh, you meant that. Oh wait, you were referring to the toy line. My bad.
well, I mean, fair too. There was concept art of him for Full of Cybertron.
Yeah.
Which again, which we're not gonna. Which folks look up that concept art and just please let's tell Hasbro. It's like, look, if you're gonna do concept figures for Studio Series, then you need to make this a toy.
Please
Now.
give us Concept Gamer Edition broadside for the next Titan class.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
I can hear my wallet crying already.
Your wallet. Hey, dude. I find Warhammer minis. It's a miracle my wallet hasn't slit my throat in my sleep. Okay, but anyhow, it's
In terms of like in this movie, like how do you feel like Springer works? Do you think Springer works well within this movie, I guess, is the question I'm trying to say, or something along those lines.
despite not having a lot of character moments, I still think he does provide some contribution.
I mean, like you said, like considering like his meant to be the archetypal, kind of essentially like the cool badass hero type. It's like that. I feel like that personality just exudes in his character because just every scene that Springer is used in, he just exudes a level of aura to him.
Yes.
Like
That
And a
he
lot of that
does.
like this guy,
A lot of that is
like he
due to-
knows.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like this is a guy who knows he's a badass, This is every time, like anytime he's in a fight and he smirks at his enemies, like all you can think is just like, look at this guy, look at this smug son of a bitch. He knows what's up. He knows he's the main character in his own story.
Look at him. He knows he's gonna be popular. You can just feel the money flying out of your wallet. Yeah, he's just like, fuck you.
Exactly.
And again,
Anyways, I'm sorry.
like with a lot, I was gonna say again, like with a lot of the characters, a lot of their memorability does go to the actors who voiced them.
That indeed.
I forget who voices Springer again.
Go look that up.
All right, somebody.
Sorry if you hear me.
needs to be
If
the
my
big boy.
also, I apologize in advance if you hear me sound funny and munching. It's because I'm eating potato chips.
Oh, good.
I might make some popcorn.
Same.
Popcorn.
We're a bunch of
Okay, we're
fat
getting off
bastards,
topic.
ain't we?
Yes. But anyway, we're getting off topic here.
Yeah, sorry.
Speak for yourself.
Sorry, squirrel.
Squirrel.
I hit squirrel.
Neil Ross. That's who voiced Springer.
All right, Neil Ross.
No.
Yeah, that voice. Yep, Neil Ross.
As in the same Neil Ross of like, what was that one show? It was like a comedy, like set in a hospital. Like he's the guy that always goes, "No." Or am I thinking someone
Trust
else?
Your Luck.
No, it was. I can't remember. Maybe I'm just being stupid. But yeah, seriously, Neil Ross. Holy shit!
Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
Again, we weren't kidding when we said that you'd be surprised by who they got to voice who in this movie, folks.
Yeah. Speaking of which, is it finally time we get the Big Blue himself?
Oh yeah, Magnus.
Yep, probably the guy who has gotten the most influence outside his 1986 debut, Ultra Magnus.
Who I believe was also voiced by a. He was also voiced by a celebrity too, right? Robert Stack.
Oh yeah, Robert Stacks.
Yep, Robert Stack, baby.
I mean, hell, and even what's his name? Who's the guy who voiced Bumblebee? I can never pronounce his last name.
I forget his name too.
I know it's not. I was thinking
Dan,
voice actor Will Friedle.
Like Dan Gilvezan.
I'll just cue me putting his last name up on the actual visual.
Yeah,
Sparkle.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like even he was, basic. Even he was basically like in interviews joking about how it's crazy. The movie comes out. He's like, so we got like Leonard Nimoy and Robert Stack.
It's just Stack, not Stacks.
Stack, right? Yeah, right. Anyway,
sorry, just saying.
Anyway, yeah, I definitely think you're right. Magnus probably has gotten them. Well, aside from RC, yeah, Magnus has probably gotten the most mileage.
Yeah.
As far as reusability.
And it's not hard to see why, because honestly, he's a pretty dope character.
Really? I just thought because he was one of the easier repaints of Prime.
I mean, that aside, yeah, this is what we referred to earlier.
That silence, I felt like I was just getting some side eyes from you guys.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong.
Hey, look, I mean, I choose because I love, okay?
I know. Hasbro, all we're saying is just please ease off the White Optimus Primes. We can't deal with those now.
Oh, fortunately for the show, they didn't make him just a Optimus repaint. Granted, they based his design off his.
To give a little context, folks, Ultra Magnus was while despite being an original character made for this movie, his finalized design was actually based on one of the few Diaclone toys that had not yet been imported by Hasbro, Battle Convoy, which literally was the same figure as Optimus Prime, just repainted white, and it came with a trailer rack that he could combine with as sort of like a power, kind of essentially like equivalent to the Hulkbuster armor is the best way I could describe it.
Yeah, that's one way to look at it. And they just decided, all right, we got a new character just from this fully armored up robot. We could work with this.
That
yeah,
also,
so literally.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, I wonder if that
No.
ever influenced the many trailer combiner armor ideas for Optimus over the years.
Probably.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if that was that subtly influenced it,
What
Justin.
was the first one? What was the first one to do that? Car robots.
Yes, I
AKA,
believe so.
yes, including AKA Robots in Disguise 01.
See what I mean about them reusing that line so we can reuse Regeneration 1?
Agreed.
Exactly.
Anyways, but no, I agree. Ultra Magnus, like Ultra Magnus is just awesome in this movie. Like the thing about him is like now originally Ultra Magnus was intended to be the replacement for the replacement for Optimus Prime, meaning he was going to originally become the new leader of the Autobots. But somewhere along the line, they just decided, you know what, let's not do that, and well, they didn't.
From what I understand, this movie went through all kinds of different,
Iterations.
Oh yeah,
iterations.
oh for sure.
Again, you can probably find tons of videos about it, but there's one I remember watching that I found really fascinating. But anyway, let's continue.
Chris McFeely actually did a really good breakdown of the original ideas for the movie. Again, shameless
Oh, yeah,
But he
plug.
did. Agreed. But yeah, it's like Ultra Magnus, while admittedly he doesn't get to do. Okay, like to be fair, most of the new characters don't get to do a whole lot. But to be fair, that's not to say they don't contribute anything. Magnus exudes that commander energy, which makes sense. Like in most fictions, including now in G1, he's specifically listed as the city commander of Autobot City, but usually in most modern fiction, his rank within the Autobots is he's literally Optimus Prime's right hand man, like literally his second in command.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not hard. It's not hard to see why he would get that position because Homeboy just exudes authority in his design alone.
That he does.
Oh yeah.
Like the only, like Magnus just is just awesome because like he's admittedly, even though he doesn't replace Optimus, he does kind of feel like a suitable replacement for him. Because again, he's similar to Optimus in that he's a caring leader who always does his best to never lose his cool in a tough situation. Because like during the
Right.
whole siege on Autobot City, he is instantly able to take command of the situation and just being like, you know, Blur, you do this. Springer RC, you do that. And everyone just does what they're told. Nobody argues with this guy because, hey, he's Ultra Magnus. He's the badass.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, like, I like that out of all the other new characters introduced to this movie, he has the most. His alt mode is the most normal looking one, which makes sense considering that they just based him off of his original toy.
Like
Right.
he's the only quote unquote modern vehicle.
It's like my head canon and nobody can change this is Magnus arrived on Earth years prior, scanned his alt mode, and he just stuck with it ever since. The guy just refuses to change with the times. He's like, nope. Like he's that stubborn.
Well, hey, apparently the original cast of characters are the same way, considering Bumblebee's still a Volkswagen Beetle in the far future.
Yeah,
The
that's
G1
true.
cartoons.
Considering I've been seeing those little bastards everywhere, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I mean, that's German engineering for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, just we
Yeah,
don't
but,
talk about what that German engineering was used for between 1939 and 1945.
Right.
And hoozles. But yeah, it's
Anyway,
like
let's talk. Oh, yeah, sorry.
thing about Magnus that's really cool is like again, I would honestly argue Magnus is he's similar to Optimus in that he's a good leader because like admittedly it doesn't get played up too much in the movie, but I love his line during Prime's death when he says, "I'm just a soldier." The guy is very humble. He doesn't view himself as a leader, even though everyone around him clearly sees him in that capacity.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's such a great character moment that that thankfully modern media has played around with a bit more, thankfully.
Yeah. But I also do like when they do kind of like, figure out ways to kind of separate Magnus from Optimus a bit in terms of personality. Like I think Transformers Prime did a really good job with that.
Oh yeah, like he's very in Prime, he's very much just hardcore military guy by the books in a good way. I mean, not like he's a hard ass, but he's a hard ass with heart.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, he does go through his own little arc.
Exactly. It's a and plus and also in Prime he's voiced by the goated Michael Ironsides.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
to the yeah.
I'm
By the
sorry,
way,
Michael.
sorry.
Seriously, Michael Ironside could voice any character, and he will never be boring.
Exactly. Also just gotta admit the Ironside, like Ironside, is just a badass last name to have.
Lucky bastard.
Also, I just want to say now that I know that Michael Ironside was in Starship Troopers, I just want to hear Ultra Magnus. Come on, you apes! You want to live forever?
Interesting, because both of those characters end up losing their hands.
Yeah. Well, one doesn't just lose his hand; he loses his life.
Yeah.
No, well,
He goes
damn.
out like a total badass. Yeah. Also, now I just want to hear Ultra Magnus do this line too. It's like, I train the best, expect the best. Here's the Energon. Woo! And it's not just Energon. He brought the good shit. I mean, that shit that Megatron and the Cons got drunk on in G1. Oh yeah, Magnus is that kind of boss. Anyways, I guess next we'll move on to Cup, just because I don't want to leave him out. So
Let's not leave
Cup.
out Cup.
Now, Cup admittedly also hasn't really gotten too many chances to shine in modern shows or anything. But to say that this guy is also not a standout character would be a lie, because honestly, Cup is just awesome. Now, sure, people say he's just a replacement for Ironhide, and I'm like, I don't
Most of these
care. He's a good.
characters are- Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it's like, in the case of Cup, I honestly don't mind because he's just as entertaining as Ironhide.
Plus, I think they even give him enough things to make him stand out from Ironhide.
Yeah, like the fact that, like, in many ways, Cup was kind of. Now, I mean, technically, we already had Gears, but I would honestly argue Cup really influenced the idea of, like, the curmudgeony old veteran on the team. Because, like, and the reason I say is because, like, so we all know Ratchet in Animated, how he's kind of a curmudgeony old war vet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think part of me feels like they partially based Ratchet off of Cup in Animated. Again, I have no proof of that, but it's like there is a very, I mean, especially considering that in Animated, Optimus and Ratchet have a very Hot Rod Cup kind of relationship with each other.
That's
Fair
true.
But yeah, Cup is just awesome. Like, I love the fact that he's voiced by Lionel Stander, who just really sells the curmudgeony angry old man vibe with him. Like I just love I love most of his lines, like especially Turbo Revin, young punk, I'll straighten you out yet.
My favorite is definitely like, tell Grimlock more about Petro Rabbits. I'll give you Petro Rabbits.
and yet he has no problem telling stories to the Dinobots.
Yeah, I love that scene too.
Oh,
I just love that scene when they're like in the ship and he's like, talking about this reminds him of the one battle. He's like talking, he's like, the Petro Rats are all, Grimlock, will you get your noodle out of my face?
I'm sorry, but I want to see Fall of Cybertron Grimlock in robot mode, just sitting down in front of Cup while he's sitting in a chair, like crisscross applesauce, like a little kid, just intently listening to Cup's war stories. And when people interrupt, he's like, Grimlock's just like, shush, man's talking.
That kind of brings up one. I know we've been talking a lot about the positives, but I think we should finally talk about the nitpicks we've had with the movie. And you just segued into one thing that I've had an issue with.
The fact that the
Oh, here we
Dinobots are
go.
used primarily for comic relief.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. The Dinobots went from the dim-witted but very viable bulldozers of the Autobot army to basically just a bunch of cavemen.
Yeah,
And
I can't
that
deny
just
that.
rubbed me the
Yeah.
wrong way. Especially when it almost became a rule that they could never go into robot mode again. Yes, I'm bringing this up.
Yeah, it was always really weird.
I mean, to be fair, I know I wasn't too bugged by that because if I'm being honest, I kind of like their dino. It's like robot dinosaurs are cool, but no, I do agree with you. It's like, can we
Yeah,
please just
I
get a
don't really
moment where
have a problem.
where they get to turn into robots again, please?
Yeah, I didn't really have a. Yeah, I'm like you, Hunter. It's like I didn't really bother me that much, but at the same time, I do find it. I did think it was kind of a weird decision.
No, me, it bothered me. It
Granted, it did
bothered
lead.
me a lot.
I know.
Really,
It
I
did.
couldn't tell.
Granted, it
Hey,
did
it
lead to
also
some
bugged the
funny
shit out of
shit,
me in
like
RID 15 too.
right. But it did lead to some funny
Ah,
stuff,
fair.
like Grimlock in like the waiter apron and bow tie, serving drinks at that one
Oh my god.
And to be fair,
meeting
we did
there.
get and we did get that and we did get that one episode that was a flowers for Algernon parody, which Greg Berger himself has gone on record as saying was his favorite episode of the show.
You know what? Fair
Right.
enough.
But no, I agree. It's like as much as the character deaths do bug a lot of people, I would honestly argue how the Dinobots were used is a little more off-putting.
Eh, I
I mean, I
understand.
I mean, I
I mean,
will still.
I thought I
I
thought
mean,
a
to be,
lot of the oh,
I feel like a lot of their scenes in this movie are forgivable compared to the later season of the show with season 3 because
yeah.
okay, here's the thing. At least in this movie, like all of the Dinobots get a shot to do something even though admittedly after the halfway point Snarl's just kind of absent. It's like but in season 3, Grimlock was the only Dinobot that ever did anything. The rest were just always kind of
In the
fucking off doing
background.
their own thing.
Yeah. I mean, I will say at least some of the jokes of the Dinobots in this movie were at least cute. Like I said, they're not
And
knee slapping hilarious, but they're cute.
And in a way, they've kind of some of these jokes have become iconic bits of lore themselves. I mean, hell, Fall of Cybertron references some of them.
I
Oh
cannot
yeah.
believe they referenced that argument Slug and Grimlock had. Or Slag, my bad.
Still,
I'm
it was
glad they
so
did.
funny. You cut
Yes.
through those guys like beryllium bologna. You mean cesium salami? No, beryllium bologna. Cesium salami.
Are you
I love
fucking
that part.
kidding me?
And it's funny because you're like, this is a reference to 86, and I'm loving it because of what it is.
Yes.
There's a lot of references to 86 in that game.
I still remember the one Easter egg I showed you
know.
in the game that you had no idea was actually part of it.
Oh yeah, the you can find the apron and the bow tie.
Oh, I was talking about the RC poster in.
Oh yes, yeah, that.
Don't worry, folks. It's nothing Rule 34 like. It's literally just done in like the style of like a World War II pinup poster.
Which, I mean,
Yeah.
again, the fact that you had no idea that was real.
Yeah, I literally did not know that fucking exists. And to see that, I was like, oh my god. Oh, that was awesome, though. I can never, once you see it, you can't unsee it, folks. I'm just
No,
saying.
you cannot.
All right, so to kind of get things back on track, let's move on to I know a character that Justin is probably very eager for us to talk about,
Alright.
Hot Rod,
Yeah.
aka Rodimus Prime. Justin, you have the
Okay.
opening floor for this one.
This one.
Okay,
You
now-
got the mic, brother.
Okay, now I know you all know I have a soft spot for this character. I
Yep.
think like a lot of the reason is for that is because, well, one, it's easy to like a character who's basically an underdog.
Agreed.
And I like his charisma, I like and how in many ways he kind of influenced a lot of kid appeal characters moving forward, like, Hotshot and in a way.
Yeah, Hot Shot,
Hotshot,
Prime Bumblebee, Prime
Anime,
Smokescreen.
Bumble. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that way it's just, and like, however, like at the same time, yeah, I do get some of the issues with his character. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There are several scenes in the movie where he definitely does show, he's capable of more than what he seems to be. Like first example, I think is when him and Cup are trying to race to the city before it fully locks down, and they literally use shrapnel and kickback as
Which, by
jumping
the way,
ramps.
how the fuck was Kickback not dead?
I have
Yeah,
no idea.
because Cup fucking like squashed his head.
His head was literally his head was like the flat head. You know that meme sometimes where you just see a guy with like extremely dented fucking head.
Yeah,
We all have now. Kickback has the dent.
Yeah,
yeah,
there is no fucking way he's still alive.
yeah. But anyway, another moment is again when him and Cup are being fed to well, one when he saves Cup from the giant squid, and when they're being attacked by the Sharkticons. And of course, when he's the one that uses the universal greeting to make peace with the Junkions. Like I said, they do have like moments of that, but I do feel like they could have probably done more with him coming into his own, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, you
Oh,
you
that
make
makes
a good
perfect
point.
sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
steal the mic from you for just a sec to add to that, Justin, because I feel like it's
Yeah.
relevant here. Like
Right.
I said, originally, as I mentioned earlier, originally the idea was going to be Ultra Magnus was going to be the one to take Optimus Prime's place as leader of the Autobots. And it kind of shows because I feel like because it's pretty clear they took a lot of what they were originally going to do for Magnus and just kind of gave it to Hot Rod. And it's like, I kind of have to agree with you, Justin, because it's like, the idea of Hot Rod becoming the new Prime is not a bad idea. The issue, I think, and why it kind of doesn't fully work here to a point. I want to stress this, or someone says something in the comments. Why I don't think it works to a point is largely because we are literally being introduced to this character in this movie. But that be like, but don't take that as like it's the end all reason. It's like, because here's the thing: despite the fact that we're only getting introduced to Hot Rod in this movie for the first time, he still goes through a really good character arc. I want to make that clear.
No,
It's
I
a
like
good
his
character
art.
arc. It's not,
It's very
again, like you said, Justin, it's not perfect, but you can't say that it's bad because there was clearly effort put into it.
yeah. No, and I like how he's almost got like kind of a. Also like how he does kind of like a Luke Skywalker type energy to him.
Oh yeah, like that's very clearly, like, again, Hot Rod's journey is very similar to Luke Skywalker's. It's literally a hero's journey kind of story for him because
Yeah.
he goes from being this kid who no one thinks that most people just kind of write off as just nothing but a turbo revving young punk. But, obviously, but even then, like, despite those misgivings, Cup clearly sees potential in Hot Rod. The problem is just that the kid himself doesn't see it yet.
Right. So yeah, yeah, like I know Hasbro is kind of afraid to, again, touch this situation with a 10-foot pole because again, the negative backlash they got, but honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to them like revisiting it and actually like again trying to like I don't want to say make it like, improve on it basically.
Like, yeah, like, again, not to because I'm trying to shamelessly plug here for anything, but like, that's something I really want to do with our fun project, Regeneration 1, is okay, the best way I could describe Hot Rod in Regen 1, our take on him in Regen 1, is that he is kind of play into the archetype that Justin was saying. It's like he's very much the TF Prime smokescreen of Regeneration 1. He is this, he's a kid, he wants to be a hero, but the problem is that, he's kind of got his head in the clouds on the whole thing. And over the course of the story, not only does he realize what it really means to be a hero, it helps him to eventually grow, and he will eventually become Rodimus Prime, but it will feel earned, not just because he just
Plot
happens to be
demands it.
the right guy for the job. Yeah. It's
Not
like,
because the plot demands it. Sorry.
yeah, I mean, because to be fair, that is kind of what it feels like in this movie, especially because, like, at the end, it's like, okay, it's time for our new hero to emerge now.
Yeah. But to be fair, I still like that scene.
Oh no,
Oh
I
yeah,
agree.
it's still an iconic scene.
Like
Like,
yeah.
and I like that and I do like that, like, there is kind of a transformation when he becomes Rodimus Prime. It's like, even though admittedly it is just him being taller now.
Right.
That's another thing I would say, for like when he becomes Rodimus in Regen 1, there is going to be more than just, oh, he got bigger. Like, I put it this way, like, the idea I had for is, like, when everyone sees his new upgrade form, I can imagine Magnus having the same reaction, like in Prime with Optimus's new body. It's like, sir, like, Hot Rod, you're looking robust.
I thought of an idea of maybe taking some inspiration from, I know this is going to sound blasphemous, but Energon Rodimus for his design for when he becomes Rodimus.
Bro,
Not a
dude,
bad
same.
idea.
I don't like. Again, Energon Rodimus, not my favorite take on the character, but again, I really do like that design, or at least elements of it.
Yeah.
Minus the legs that go all the way up.
Yeah, yeah, but
I'm on fire
Tom, anything
tonight.
yeah, Tom, anything you want to add?
Firstly, my fucking popcorn tried to kill me.
Oh no.
Oof. Sorry.
Hate when that
Oh
happens.
no. We just pulled the knuckles. Oh no.
Whoa.
I'm alright. I'm alright.
All right.
Okay.
I think you guys hit everything with Hot Rod, and honestly, yeah. He's been a big influence on a lot of character archetypes like him, like Hot Shot and Bumblebee and Smokescreen. But we also gotta appreciate that he finally had his chance to really strut his stuff in Transformers Cyberverse of all places.
Oh, I love that he's been making. I love that he's making a comeback in recent years.
Yeah, and again, and
same.
potentially he's also coming back in Earthspark.
Yes, I saw that.
Yes, and he looks so good.
Yes, he does.
And again, I will. Oh, all right, maybe I shouldn't bring up this every time we bring up Cyberverse.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Just
Get
the
your
fact
pot
that,
shots
the
in.
fact that it's not a pot shot. I'm just like glad that despite you automatically writing off the show, that you ended up being pleasantly surprised by it.
Hey, just because I might not like the direction from the poster doesn't mean I'm not going to give it a chance. It's just, again, that initial poster for Cyberverse did not wow me. I'm like, okay. It's like okay, news show's been announced now that RID 15's over. Hopefully it'll be better. Oh, god dang it. Because again, I just saw that that it's like the show comes out, I'm like, all I can think is, before I started watching the first 2 episodes, is like, okay, please be decent. Give me that at least. And then I watched the first 2 episodes back to back on YouTube. I'm like, oh my god, it's actually good.
And then,
Oh yeah.
And to be fair, I've actually started watching a little bit of the new one, Cyberworld. You know what? I think we did kind of judge it a little too harshly. Don't get me wrong, I don't like the 5-minute format, just because, yeah, it's clearly meant for kids that are, like, addicted to, like, TikTok and YouTube Shorts, but the show itself really is not that bad. Hey, I'm just saying, if you get the chance, I would say give it a chance. I mean, if nothing else, Russian Grimlock, yeah, this actually strangely kind of works. I'm not gonna lie.
why'd they make my boy a fucking Ruski?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, it's better than. Hey, it's better than making him North Korean. That's going in, Tom.
And just like that, there goes all my viewership in Russia and in Korea.
Oh,
Like,
please, you didn't have it.
No, don't, dude. We don't. You can't have viewership in North Korea because this shit isn't allowed over there.
Exactly.
I was saying Korea in general. I don't know how, but somehow we must have pissed out the South.
Fuck them. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, I guess we'll talk about the new Decepticons, even though there really aren't that many of them.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
really the only
Which
one
is
that's really worth talking about is Galvatron. Even that, well,
oh, all right.
Galvatron
So,
and Unicron. I think. Well, Unicron's not a Decepticon, but sorry.
yeah. I guess real quickly with Cyclonus and Scourge, like all I'm gonna say on them is kind of what I said about them, like in our character tier list we did for G1 a while back. I like of their designs, Scourge is probably my least favorite. I don't know why. I think it might just be the beard.
Joke's on you. I think the
Maybe.
beard's awesome.
Eh, you do you, bro. You do you. It's like I like Scourge as a character, but in G1 he just never really got to shine as a significant character, really. Which is kind of a shame because again, I like the silhouette of him. I think he looks cool. Just again, he just never really got to do anything. And to be fair, neither did Cyclonus. It wouldn't be till later stories that those two would finally get to shine. I mean, Cyclonus really came into his own in IDW's comics, which IDW Cyclonus is fucking goated, and I will preach that
Hell
till the
yeah.
end of days.
Mostly of what G1
And
Cyclones was known for is getting the shit kicked out of him.
yeah, which is kind
Yeah.
of sad because he's supposed to be the warrior.
Honestly,
Well, after
I will
Starscream
say,
died, Galvatron needed a new punching bag.
yeah.
You're not wrong.
This one takes it with little complaint.
Oh yeah, like that because again, there's that whole episode where he basically puts Megatron in psychiatric care on the planet Torculon.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I will say that did lead to probably like one of the funniest moments with Cyclonus when they're making him sign the papers. As soon as he's done, he literally just rips them up in frustration.
Which also are just like to the absolute brainlet who decided to give Galvatron the components to build a blaster in the middle of a hospital. You have you have the adherence to the Hippocratic oath of a fucking Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah,
So honestly, like throw like the complaints about season 3. I will say Web World is probably my favorite episode of that season.
to be fair, it really is a good story, and when you really think about it, like Vangelis talked about this on Cabot and Cam's thing where he had a lot of guest stars on where they talked about their favorite episodes of our G1 retrospective. Angelus brought up that episode also brings up a lot of really makes you stop and question the the mental health care system like that we have here in the United States and how we often just sign away people to it without really thinking of like what really goes on, and it's like it's actually
Makes
kind of
sense.
eye-opening way.
Well, which makes sense because I do believe a lot of that stuff, was kind of coming more into, the public consciousness in the 80s.
So yeah, that was actually pretty solid timing on the writer's part.
Even
Yeah.
if most of it was kind of considered to be a joke.
Well, obviously, it's like you gotta market this stuff to kids, but in a way where it will still have an impact on them years later when they realize, oh, I get what this episode was actually trying to say, and it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, that is important. Like I love when media can do stuff like that, and
even
not
if you,
just
even if you
we're
don't,
just funny all the time.
even if you're not wholly into that, you can still just have a good laugh at just how fucking weird it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
indeed.
it probably has some of the
So
best alien designs in the series. But anyway, yeah, let's move on now.
So yeah, I guess the only one really worth talking about. Well, obviously we're going to talk about Unicron, but like Justin said, he's not a Decepticon, so he doesn't count. So I guess we'll start off with Galvatron, and I'm just going to go ahead and start off with, I guess not so much a negative about the character, if I'm being honest, but it's more just a nitpick, if you will, boys.
Right.
Go ahead.
Go on.
Hasbro, why is it you're perfectly okay with killing off your hero, Optimus Prime, but you didn't really kill off Megatron? Again, I know this is going to sound weird, but you guys see where I'm coming from on this one, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm not just being weird. It's like
No,
because
I'm
here's
the
the
same
thing.
way.
Now to their credit, in the build-up to the movie, Hasbro actually kept a tight lid on who Galvatron really was, and they just marketed him as the Decepticon equivalent of Ultra Magnus, that he was Megatron's city commander, which is weird because it's like, what city would he be guarding? But whatever. But then, like, the movie itself actually did what it did, and to be fair, for what it is, it's not bad. But maybe this is just because I've been spoiled by the IDW comics, but I kind of prefer Galvatron just being his own character separate from Megatron. I know,
Nothing wrong
blasphemous.
with that. Well, nothing wrong with that. 'Cause I don't see anything wrong
I
with
know.
that.
I know, but I just I know for some people out there, that's just, it's a controversial opinion. And it's like, I get it. If you grew up with this Galvatron, I get that. And I respect it. That said, this doesn't really vibe with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I hear you.
But that being said, I'd say G1 Galvatron is memorable in his own right. And again,
especially when
all throughout.
Especially when he's, yeah. I mean, especially in the movie, I would say, because he's voiced by Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say a lot of that has to do with Leonard Nimoy's performance. Again,
and to be fair, Leonard Nimoy himself even said that, he had a lot of fun voicing Galvatron. I mean, it explained why he would come back as Sentinel Prime for Dark of the Moon, which, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert for a movie that's over a decade old at this point.
Right.
Yeah, but anyway,
I will say I will say this, in the movie, he is at least, a threat. Like,
he definitely is.
It's like you never feel like, he's not a threat. From what I understand, I guess it, like, originally, I guess there were, like, some scenes they had planned for him that were, I guess, deemed too intense. Like, Tom, did you, I can't remember, it was either you or Tom or Hunter, one of you guys told me, like, originally when Ultra Magnus gets blown up, originally he wasn't going to get blown up. Instead, like, Galvatron was going to order the sweeps to basically grab each of his limbs and literally pull him apart like some kind of medieval torture device.
Yep, that was the original plan.
Oh God.
That might have been me then.
You know what? I would have preferred that over what we got, honestly. Okay, because, like, here's the thing. It's like, at least that makes more sense, to rip Magnus apart and then him getting rebuilt makes more sense, whereas man gets shot point blank by Galvatron's cannon, and the Junkions are able to put him back together like nothing fucking happened.
Not just Galvatron, but like all of the Decepticons will just start shooting him like it's the ending of Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, Jesus. Again, tone whiplash. It's like this movie at points can't pick what tone it wants to go with.
Like, it's whiplashing you so bad, Saul Goodman is gonna sue Hasbro for injuries.
Right? I mean, hell, we wouldn't get tone whiplash like this till Revenge of the Fallen. Don't worry, we will get there.
Yes.
But to be fair, I'm more positive towards that than I am this. Okay, that's not entirely fair. I'll have my complaints, but anyways.
Are you trying to start a war in my comments?
Come at me, motherfuckers.
They'll be coming at me.
No, come at me! I'm a man! I'm 40! I'm just kidding, I'm 33.
Actually, that's a good idea. I'll link your channel so they can all bitch at you.
Whatever. I read YouTube. I read nasty comments at least once a week.
Yeah.
On Twitter. Yeah. Dear God, how are you not in solitary?
Whoa, okay, I don't want to mess with you. You can go right on in.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, I just want to say, like, much like with Hot Rod, I do kind of have a soft spot for G1 Galvatron. Which is, again,
I'd be lying if
my stuff. I do want to find ways to, like, incorporate him, and I think I found some good ways.
You know what, Justin?
Would
I
you guys
kind
agree?
of have to agree with you. It's like I have to agree with you there, buddy. It's like again, I don't have nearly as big an attachment to G1 Galvatron, but I would be lying if I said I didn't find him entertaining.
Yeah.
So,
Let's go to the real
uh,
big bad, both literally and metaphorically.
Yep.
you got the floor on this one, buddy. Start us off.
Really, you want me to handle Unicron? Well, what can I say about him that hasn't already been said? From his presence in the movie, the booming voice by Orson Welles, and the climactic ending battle with him, it's no wonder why he's carried on throughout the Transformers mythos. To the
Oh
point
yeah,
where he
he
actually
is.
had an entire planned anime trilogy named after him. Granted, it was retroactively, but still.
Bill. That was for something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this movie. Like I said, I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying the people that have voiced Unicron after this movie were bad by any means, because they're not. They're really not. But again, like, there's just something about Orson Welles' voice that just does it for me. Like, it really gives the idea, like, yeah, this is Robot Satan. This is how Robot Satan would fucking sound. This
Oh
big,
yeah.
booming voice that just commands the room.
Yes, exactly.
The only, like, okay, this is just getting on a little bit of a tangent, but I'm gonna bring it around real quick, or you know, or too long. The only other voice I could probably see doing a really being as close to Orson Welles as Galvatron is Lee Tokar, who voices Makuta in the Bionicle animated movies.
That would be awesome.
Because Tom, if you've not heard Makuta's voice in those movies, I highly recommend you look up clips on YouTube, because good God, you will see why I think that. Because again, Lee Tokar is a really sweet guy who voices a scary ass villain.
That is a very common story, would you believe?
Oh, I
Yes,
believe
it
that.
is. What
Hey,
is it
that-
with like what is it with really nice and sweet people just voicing the most evil bastards in all of fiction?
Hey man, bad guys just get the best roles.
Hey, seriously, think
That
about
they
it.
do.
James Earl Jones as Vader, Peter Cushing as Grand Moff Tarkin, Giancarlo Esposito as Gus Fring.
Fucking fuck, I had something. Fucking Christopher Lee as Count Dooku.
And I was expecting
Real-
you to say Saruman.
That too.
Yeah, like I said, it's like a lot of them will pretty much just say, it's always fun to play the villain.
Yeah, no, like, yeah, Unicron was easily probably one of the things. Unicron was definitely one of the biggest influences to come out of this movie, because again, he has just whenever he shows up in a new Transformers story, whether it be a show or a comic or a game, he never loses his oomph. It's
I mean, even
always
like
an event when he shows up.
yeah, it has to be considering, what he is. Like even in this movie where like he doesn't have like a whole lot of screen time, but it's like every he's in and every time he talks, it's like, yeah, you feel that like again, a lot of that's due to Wells's performance. And you feel like this is, this guy, is powerful.
Like, yeah, it's like he doesn't, admittedly, yeah, he doesn't have a lot of screen time in this movie, but what little
He has a
screen time
presence.
Unicron gets, it's always meant to emphasize just how much of a big deal this guy is. Like, again, the opening prologue scene where he destroys Kranek's homeworld.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that was a straight up apocalypse movie.
Oh yeah.
oh,
I
for
mean,
sure.
again, if you could just allow me to be the trivia guy for a minute.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember reading somewhere that I guess they did have more scenes planned for Unicron, but didn't use them because Orson Welles couldn't show on certain days due to, hospital visits he had to, because again, he was in really poor health.
Which, again, makes total sense.
Yeah, so yeah, he kind of like had to, again, we had like a ton of like, doctor's appointments. Well, not only that, because I think yeah, he had like diabetes, so obviously he had to receive treatment for that. So
Yeah.
yeah, he couldn't. So yeah, because of his health problems, he couldn't show up on certain days. But again, like you said, Hunter, they make every scene he's in like feel impactful.
I mean, again, like we mentioned earlier, it's like, the scene where he transforms into his robot mode is just jaw
Awesome.
dropping. You're like,
Yes.
it's so good because it really plays into the idea of, because like when you really think about it, Unicron is the first time in Transformers, in any piece of Transformers media, that we encounter something that is essentially the equivalent of a cosmic horror.
Right.
Because when Galvatron sees Unicron transform for the first time, he just has this look of fear on his face of, oh my god, what have I gotten myself into?
And again, I just love the line, after he transforms, like, for a time, I considered sparing your wretched planet Cybertron. Now you shall witness its dismemberment.
Like, dude is so big that he can literally stand on top of Cybertron as he's destroying it. It's literally like Godzilla going full on super giant to destroy the Earth.
I mean, you may be asking, like, why doesn't he just devour it like he does with other planets? I get the feeling Unicron wanted to prolong this destruction to really,
Oh,
like,
he
make a point.
oh yeah, he totally did. And plus but also considering his connection to the planet, at least if you go by what is now established lore, it would also make total sense that he would want to basically wait and prolong the destruction of his brother.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But this was a G1
But again,
series, so
yeah, that wasn't a thing in G1. That would retroactively come from later stories.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it kind of like in the comics and then kind of
yeah, it was in the
retconned as
G1
the official
comics.
lore? Yeah. And then it was like kind of retconned as the official lore because of how well it was received by the fans.
Yeah, and to be fair, I kind of have to agree because, okay, spoiler warning for season 3 of the cartoon, not that anyone really cares, but just in case some do. It's literally said in season 3, and this is one of the few times where season 3 for me kind of dropped the ball, was in the episode Call of the Primitive. I think it's Call of the Primitives, or maybe it's
Yeah.
Starscream's
Yeah.
Ghost. I can't remember.
It's called the Primitives. Yeah.
Okay, Call of the Primitives, it's revealed that Unicron was created by a basically monkey alien named Primacron, with literally the intention of having Unicron destroy all life in the universe so that Primacron could then experiment on it, and create new life. And it's like, I'm sorry,
From
that's
God.
just lame. That is
I mean,
just
it's an
that is.
interest.
I'm sorry.
I
I
mean,
mean, yeah, it's an
Grant,
interesting idea, but if I'm being honest, I think we can all agree that's just kind of stupid and lame as fuck.
It's like
I don't know. Maybe I'm alone
you're
on
saying
that.
the
Like, what do you guys
creator of the
think?
greatest of Transformers True Eldritch Lovecraftian horror was made by a space monkey.
Yes, that was
Should
canon.
should I just
it was
should I just cut the should I
see
just
what I
cut
was
the
gonna say
Frieza
first.
pointing and just saying monkey?
Yes. I mean,
Yes.
as I was saying, like I was gonna say, it's an interesting Like I said, it's an interesting concept of again, like literally scientists playing God, wanting to destroy the universe so he could basically recreate it in his own image. But I don't really think it fits as an origin for someone like Unicron.
And
No,
why? Why
if it
a
was someone else
monkey?
entirely, sure. Because
Yeah.
why not a monkey?
Like again, it's kind of a good thing that Hasbro has basically stated, again, the comic book origin for Unicron is the one that is officially canon.
Well, yeah, because like how well received it was, and to be fair, if I'm being honest, Simon Furman, when he did that in the Marvel UK stories first, and then he retconned it into the American comic book when he took over for writing for it. Like, yeah, it's just a better origin story because again, like the idea of Unicron essentially feeling like a Lovecraftian horror just makes sense because, like I said, that's basically what he is in this movie. He's literally a cosmic horror.
Yeah.
Monkey.
I'm
Monkey.
So
sorry,
dumb.
but that's just what all that's going through my head right now when I see that. Just monkey.
Yep.
Monkey.
Lizard.
Oh, oh God,
No,
no,
I'll
not
stop.
that.
No,
Okay.
no, I'll
Okay.
stop. I'll
Okay.
stop.
Drop the.
Anyways.
Okay. Okay. Drop the
Okay. Anyway.
monkey.
Anyways. We're having fun, folks. Anyways.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, like, again, despite not having a shit ton of screen time in this movie, Unicron is still just so well used in this movie. He's so impactful. Like, again, I know I brought it up already, but, like, again, the scene where he transforms to robot mode, I think is easily my favorite scene with him in the movie, just because, oh my god, it just really emphasizes, because again, playing to the cosmic horror angle, like, this is the moment where Galvatron finally realizes just how small he is in the grand scheme of things.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah.
no, I just
And
saw.
plus, like you. Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
What what'd you do?
I I was just checking out. I was just checking out the
Ifs. Oh, I see.
Yeah, I was just checking out what was posted in your server, Hunter, and just um Nate was pointing out. I don't want to derail this too much, so mind if I just get this out of the way because it's now bugging me.
Oh yeah, I already heard of. Shit.
Oh,
Well,
shoot. Oh, shit.
Anyways,
Moving on.
moving on.
Area
Uh,
wayward
I
son.
guess. Oh, we definitely have to talk about these guys. We definitely have to talk about them because I
yeah.
refuse to not talk about them because again, they were also impactful in this movie. Obviously, like we mentioned, this movie marks the introduction of the Quintessons.
Oh yeah, we need
Yes.
to talk about those guys.
Honestly, even though they're only in the movie for a short bit, it's not hard to see why they left an impact.
Yeah.
What do you got? Like, who wants to take the floor on this one? Who wants to
Uh,
start us off?
you know what? Why don't I take the floor? I feel like I haven't done a whole lot of talking as of yet.
All right,
Okay.
Tom, go ahead.
Honestly, despite them being the creators of the Transformers race, sort of being thrown away as the years went
Retconned.
on, there
Yeah.
is absolutely zero denial that they have managed to keep their tentacles around this community in terms of influence for years after.
Oh yeah.
So, and yeah, seriously, and just going into order, we have the Alpha Quintesson or Alpha Q from Transformers Energon. I mean, make of that what you will. And
To be
then
fair,
when
I like.
oh,
Again, he's one of the things in that show I actually really do like.
and then you get the crazy role reversal for the Quintessons when you think about it. When we get to the aligned continuity and Quintus Prime.
Yeah, where literally they took the idea of, okay, so in G1 they were the ones that created the Transformers race. So in the aligned continuity, they switched it around and said, nope, it was a Transformer that created them.
Yeah. Also, did you see what I put in the in the text chat?
Oh
When
yeah.
we were talking about
Yeah.
Private Cross, I just thought that was just too perfect.
Yes.
I
Hey,
mean, it's
right
very
back
fitting.
at you, movie.
Right back at you, Primacron.
But yeah, no, I mean,
But yeah.
it's easy to see how the Quintessons have stuck around. They have an effectively creepy design and an eerie presence to them.
Oh yeah. Like, admittedly, they're how they're used in this movie. It's like they are now originally. one of the ideas for them was originally they were supposed to be heralds of Unicron in a similar fashion to like what Galvatron is used, I guess. But then that got dropped for whatever reason. And to be fair, I think they made the right decision because when these guys show back up again in the third season of the cartoon, it allowed them to have more interesting stories be done with them than just if they had been heralds of Unicron. Like we talked about this again in our character tier list, but like one of the things that just made the Quintessons so interesting in the G1 cartoon, boys, I think we can all agree, is that it was like now we didn't just have Autobots and Decepticons, but now you had the Quintessons who are kind of a third faction, kind of just, you know, basically trying to get both sides to kill each other on their behalf so that they could just swoop in and take over hostily without actually having to do a hostile takeover.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, they've also done
It's
some
like,
other evil things in the show. Like, remember, like
oh,
remember the one episode where it's revealed they were kind of, what was it? They were like, there was like a war going on another planet, and they were literally selling weapons to both sides.
oh yeah, they were double dealing, and that was like, that is
And-
so scummy, and yet it's not out of character for them.
yeah. Especially
Nope.
since like now it was revealed they were going to sell them basically a doomsday weapon that would pretty much kill all of them, like, to each side.
And the Quintessons didn't care because they were profiting from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Money.
seriously, these guys are just like the Quintessons are just so scummy as villains that you love them for it. Like you love to hate them.
Yeah, you always gotta love and plus you gotta give props for Hasbro for bringing back the classic Quintesson design, even if like sometimes the media they're in varies in quality.
Yeah.
I mean, I did like the whole thing that was going on with them in Earthspark. Like their whole thing was like you and I said it best, Tom, when we talked about it. It's like their whole thing is like they thought they were more special than they were, and then they were pissed to find out that they weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally, they were like, "Dear, oh great Quintus Prime, surely you created us for some grand divine purpose." And Quintus was like, "Ah, not really. I just made you because I could."
I just
Yeah.
not really. I was he was literally like, yeah, I was just kind of fucking around.
I mean, essentially, I mean, that version of Quintus is definitely a bit more of a better person than like. Okay, not. I want to make this clear. Quintus Prime in the aligned continuity, or at least from what's told of him in the Covenant of Primus guidebook, he wasn't necessarily a bad guy, but he was very more morally questionable as a scientist.
Honestly, with a character like
But
Quintus, I don't mind going that route.
I think depending on how you handle it, it works. And to be fair, I loved what's mentioned about him in the Covenant of Primus, and I am really looking forward to getting a hold of his new Age of the Primes Deluxe class figure. It looks good.
Despite most likely suffering from translucent plastic syndrome.
Well, there actually is some good news on that. It's like, yes, it is technically made from translucent, at least the outer parts of the legs are, but the inner stuff, like it's like the all the important stuff in the legs is actually made of like hard black plastic. It's just it's got like translucent like a translucent shell over it to keep with the aesthetic of like his glowing tendrils on the bottom, which okay, which that does make me happy. It's like, okay, thank God.
You know what? Smart.
Agreed. Again,
Yeah.
I do still worry about the outer shell's longevity, but you know, here's knocking on wood and hoping it lasts a few years.
Yeah. As
But
for
oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
but yeah, but and not to mention that the Quintessons have enjoyed some of their own liberties in terms of their iterations, which has
Still
also
think
been really cool.
Yeah, I still think Earth not Earth Cyberverse, the Cyberverse is probably the creepiest the Quintessons have been in years.
Oh
Oh, for
yeah.
sure. Like they like Cyberverse really played into like the horror side with them, and it really just did work for them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Like like seriously, just oh my God, it was just Like it really got into like almost like H.R. Geiger levels of creepy with them at points.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Which
Like
again,
again, the whole almost feeling like almost like they're techno organic.
very good.
Agreed.
I do like that whenever they
Uh
introduce the quintessons, they do find a way to make them effective.
oh, for sure. I mean, you kind of have to because again, this movie kind of set the standard for them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And not only that, but it's like not just them, but a lot of elements of them. Like for example, the Sharkticons have also come back numerous times as well. Often with some versions of the Sharkticons even being separate from the Quintessons.
Some of them even looking like, well, sharks.
Actual sharks. Yeah.
Granted, they're just little chubby. They're extra chubby sharks, but sharks nonetheless. Like
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I love the Cyberverse Sharkticons. Like I love that they're just chunky.
they look like the blurgs from Star Wars.
Is that a good or a
It
bad
is.
thing?
That entirely depends on your perspective.
You know what? Fair enough on that one. Fair enough. I still,
So
though, I think my favorite Sharkticon design, off the top of my head, is probably, and it's not even one from shows or anything. It's actually from the Forge to Fight game.
Really.
I don't know what it is. I just love, like, I love that it's a streamlined design, like actually looking like a shark, but it had, like, I like that it actually looks like a shark with hands and legs. I don't know why. That's just appealing to me.
Which I'm surprised there hasn't been an Asylum film with that concept.
Don't
don't
give them
encourage them.
ideas. They have enough.
Too late.
Yeah. I guess before we start getting into wrapping things up, I guess another thing we can talk about before we wrap up and give our final thoughts. Uh, we kind of touched on it briefly, but I'll just get a little bit more in talking about it here is the soundtrack. As mentioned
Yeah.
earlier, the soundtrack by Vince DiCola is just, oh my god, like I think you said it best, Tom. It's like, yeah, admittedly, it does date this movie terribly, but at the same time, that's not a bad thing.
I didn't mean it dated it terribly. I mean it's 80s in the good sense.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I horribly took what you said out of context. My bad.
Yeah. But
But
do you
yeah, it's
want a
like,
good representation of what some of the best 80s tracks were? I think this movie does it.
I mean, again, like like you have Instruments of Destruction, which is more or less the Decepticons. As said, it's basically the Cons' national anthem at this point.
Yep.
Yes. Which I just
I
want to
mean, just
say, one of Megatron's voice lines in War for Cybertron when he picks up a weapon and says, "This is a true instrument of destruction." I wonder if that was an intentional reference to that.
How can it
considering that
not?
it's by Justin, considering it's High Moon Studios, you could bet your ass that was 100% intentional.
Yes.
But then of course you got Dare, which I feel like Dare is kind of an underrated track in
That
this
does
movie.
not get nearly
like
enough
that
love.
song. Yeah, and I like that
It really
one.
does. I mean, obviously, then of course you got like we got Weird Al Yankovic's "Dare to Be Stupid," which is essentially the Junkions theme song. And again,
Yes.
I love that it makes sense for it to be not. I love not only is this a Weird Al song tied to the Junkions, but it's also fitting considering that in Transformers Animated, Wreck-Gar would be voiced by by Weird Al Yankovic.
It's great. It's like coming full circle.
Exactly, and I love
It's just
it.
getting way too meta for me.
Yes.
Exactly.
I also
It needs to
I also
stop.
really like the song "Hunger," which is basically kind of the Dinobots theme.
Although in a way, it's kind of both the Dinobots and Sharkticons theme in a weird kind of way.
Yeah, that is true.
I
But
mean, also but I think obviously the most goated track in the entire soundtrack is undoubtedly "The Touch."
Oh
yeah.
yeah, that's just
This
instantly
song has been
recognizable.
referenced.
God
This
knows how many
song has been
times.
referenced so many times, folks. Like, you want two good examples. One, it was referenced in the Bumblebee movie in 2018, which
Yes. Which
I
kind
won't
of
lie,
gives me a funny story.
seeing that
Dude,
seeing
I'm
that
not
in the theater, hearing
Yeah.
that in the theater made me clap and giggle like an idiot, and I didn't
Dude,
care.
I had to try with all my might to not burst out fucking laughing in the middle of the theater when I heard that tune. I'm just like, you motherfuckers, you did it.
Oh no, you think that's crazy? Second that song started playing, I started singing along.
Nice.
It was,
Oh, and
you
then there
gotta
was
do
oh,
it. And then I go,
let's not forget that Agent Fowler was also humming it in Transformers Prime.
And he was.
I
And
mean,
then,
it
of
was
course, one of my favorite. Yeah. Like, dude, like, not only that, but in issue 6 of Skybound's Transformers comics, they reference that song with,
yeah,
as I said earlier, it's
you know
like,
the song.
there's literally a panel. There's literally a panel where as Optimus is charging towards Devastator, and just as he does a drop kick on the Gestalt, literally in the background of the panel behind him is written, you know, the song.
Yeah, right in the speed lines.
yes, which is
It's
awesome.
it's like again, these guys, like, say what you want about some of the people involved in those comics. You got to admit that was funny.
That
Yes.
was clever as hell.
That will never not be one of my favorite panels, just because, like, this is made by Transformers fans for Transformers fans, and I am loving it.
Also,
But yeah,
we forgot to mention they do reference it in Transformers One.
Yep. Oh yeah. They
Yeah.
also
I
did.
feel like I could feel like I could reach down and touch Primus himself. It's like you don't have the touch or the power.
Which ironically also that in hindsight that also serves as a little bit of foreshadowing.
yes, it does, because yeah, he does have the touch and the power,
Hell yeah!
unlike Hot Rod. No, I'm just kidding.
Yo.
Damn.
I'm
man.
kidding. I'm sorry. I was making an MGO reference. Like, I got the touch. You got the respect is what you got.
All right, but all right. Is there anything
Yeah,
else
it's like,
before we
obviously,
start?
it's like this soundtrack is just. I
It really
guess.
gets the blood pump. It's a very blood. Really like it really gets the blood pumping. It's really energetic, I guess.
That it is.
It really is. And
It's like kind of
It's a
like when
very-
you hear the opening theme for the X-Men cartoon. It kind of has that kind of feel. Like makes you just want to go out and beat the shit out of someone.
It really does.
Yeah, but is there anything else before we start winding this down?
I got nothing.
I guess real quickly, it's like. I guess this can segue into the final thoughts.
All right.
All right.
So yeah, like we said, one thing that is kind of unfortunate is, like, it is unfortunate that things did not go the way they intended when it came to this movie, because, like, it really does suck that this movie bombed at the box office, because admittedly this realistically it shouldn't have failed. But
Yeah.
like we said, a lot of the failure just came from the fact that, again, it's just, was like, sorry, it's just I'm trying to verbalize it.
Let me help
A
you
lot
out
of the
with that.
failure was the fact that
Oh.
a good chunk of the failure was definitely the fact, like we said, it was Hasbro kind of gambled with this movie, hoping that things would work out, which, again, like we said, kudos to them for having the balls to do that. But at the same time, it's like,
They should have been a bit smarter about it.
Honestly, that's the
Yeah,
best
like,
way to
again-
describe it. They weren't afraid to take risks, but they flew a little too close to the sun and the wings melted. That's just sadly, them's a lot of the breaks, and it
Now-
is easy to kind of poke fun at some of the at some of the whoopsies, but at the end of the day, they were willing to take an absolute leap in an entertainment industry where so many bigwigs are pissed scared to take a step outside the norm. It's something I appreciate.
Yeah.
agreed. And plus, there was one, in regards to this movie's failure, there was one good thing that did come out of it, and it's actually not. It's something that's not even technically tied to Transformers.
What's that?
So the year after this movie came out, in 1987, Hasbro decided to try their luck with another animated feature film with one of their properties, in this case, G.I. Joe the movie.
Ah.
Oh yeah,
And
I remember hearing
now,
about.
now here's the thing. Originally in G.I. Joe the movie, they were going to just straight up kill off Duke. Like, just straight up. Like, they were going to give him the Optimus Prime treatment. Just, nope, he dead. He dead as hell. He not coming back. But after the reception that Transformers the movie got, Hasbro was like, okay, let's actually not do that.
Yeah,
So instead
okay,
of
so
killing Duke off, they just put him in a coma.
yeah, they
I
were
mean,
just
they
like,
still
yeah,
can't get out
oh,
of commission, but
yeah, we're just like, okay,
Yeah.
okay, let's not make that mistake again.
So you can't say they didn't learn from it, folks, because they technically did.
Yeah, I do like from we might need to do a watch party of that movie eventually because I can only just make the joke of, well, I guess you can clearly tell they learned their lesson from last year with one of their IPs.
Oh, it's a fun movie. I definitely recommend we should check it out at some point.
All right then.
oh, I
But
don't think the G.I. Joe movie got a theatrical release, did it?
no, it did. From what I remember, it was a very limited theatrical run. Which,
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, even Transformers had more of a wider release than that. So,
Which is
Yeah.
weird because I think another reason the Transformers movie didn't really do so well was because it wasn't really that well advertised.
no, that was
Where?
definitely the other big problem. Was just
Oh, where have we
they did
heard
not.
that? Where have we heard that fuck up before?
Oh, hi, Transformers One. Don't worry, we'll get to you eventually. Again,
We already. I was about to say we
Yeah.
already got to that movie.
I know, but I feel like if we're gonna do this retrospective justice, we got to revisit that one briefly too.
Plus, I think a few of us have had some opinions changed on it in a good way. I mean,
You know what?
Oh yeah, like definitely. I definitely feel like we can verbalize a lot of what we wanted to say better when we get there.
Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough. We have given this movie a year or two to marinate and give us some more thoughts.
Agreed. So I guess now we can just start finally getting into. Well, again, we're basically getting to our final thoughts here, but it's like, but yeah, obviously another big thing that definitely did not help this movie was the fact that Hasbro really did not market it that well. And again, like you just said, Tom, it's like, gee, where have we heard that? No, where have we seen this song and dance before? Okay, to be fair, at least with Transformers One, that was more Paramount's fault, but point still stands.
Yeah, there's still a parallel to be drawn.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's just so funny. Like you look at how the future followed the same mistake as the past with TF1, and you're just like, oh my freaking hell. It's kind of funny in an ironic way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess
Sorry.
oh, you're good. I guess I'll start off in closing. So, my closing thoughts are this movie, again, this movie took. I have to commend this movie, as we've said. Like, it did some ballsy things for the time. And yeah, it didn't completely work out in the way they hoped. But it's like, again, especially looking at it now in a day and age when it seemed like, especially nowadays, where studios are almost too afraid to try new things with, established franchises. You can't say Transformers wasn't ahead of the curve.
No, you cannot. Justin, do you
So
have any?
honestly,
Sorry.
oh sorry. So I guess in closing, I just want to say, like, I think if I had to give a personal rating, like, I feel like we're all gonna like we can all feel free to do this. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying I'm just doing it because I feel like it's justified. For me, again, I really do. I want to make it clear. I really do like this movie. In fact, I enjoy it a hell of a lot. Like we said, folks, it's a very frenetic, it's a very fuck yeah kind of movie. But if I'm being honest, there are some things that keep it from being S tier for me. So if I had to give it a ranking, I would say it's a solid A tier for me. Again, it's very much, I definitely recommend checking it out, especially if you've not seen it. It's a lot of fun. But just know going in that, you are basically watching what is essentially a giant toy commercial.
Okay. I'll go next.
Whoever wants to go next, go. All right, go
All
ahead,
right.
Justin.
I'll go next. Yeah. So
Justin?
Oh, I think his internet died.
Shit.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no, I'm hearing it.
we
I'm
hear
hearing
you.
it.
We hear you, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Keep talking.
Okay,
Keep
okay.
talking. Keep talking.
Okay. Sorry.
Start making up words. That's for the thinkers. That's for the Adventure Time fans out there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like as I was saying, yeah, I think this movie is, really, like I said, this movie is a lot of fun, and yes, it is flawed. Like there are things that definitely could have been done better, but what it is a good time, especially it's a good time to have with friends. Like I definitely recommend you watch it with friends. Like, it's
Oh yeah, especially because
energetic. It's energetic. It's got like a lot of good animation. It's got head bobbing songs, as well as other music, and it even has some pretty
all the new
intense
characters
moments as well.
and all the new characters are actually pretty darn likable.
Yeah.
So I guess we saved the host for last.
Yes.
By all
Well,
means.
I'm not really going to rate this movie simply because if there's anything I've learned about consuming media, it's that this is it. Is that it really is more of a gradient than like a hard number system. But I mean,
No, that's fair. That's like I said. That's fair. Sorry.
yeah, and where I have to put my liking on this one is that, yeah, where I like this movie is that it's definitely got a lot of that weird kind of off the rails, breaks are cut, sort of 80s action that you can expect, especially from the animated media. But at the same time, you can still tell that they were trying to put a little bit of care and effort into a lot of the concepts. Now, does it have its shortcomings? Yes. Yes, it
Oh,
does.
yeah.
It most certainly does. But at the same time, if you're a big Transformers fan and you kind of, or if you're just like trying to see where a lot of kind of really big concepts first got their foothold, this is definitely a fun watch, especially if you're watching it with a friend or if you get a buddy who's a big TF guy and they can help you, navigate if you're up for that. Basically, what I can
Hell
describe
yeah.
this as, if you're just in for a little bit of the more or less turn off your brain, holy shit kind of feel of the 80s, this is the movie for you. If not, I can definitely understand.
Agreed. This is definitely compared to some of the other movies we're going to talk about. Admittedly, this one is very much this movie's definitely a case of your mileage is going to vary.
Greatly.
But
Basically,
even then, I would still say I still would come back to this one than say something like The Last Night.
yeah. Well,
I think we're all on that. Oh.
We'll get to that one. So,
Oh yeah, don't worry. We've got some things to say on that movie, but that's you're gonna have it's coming. Okay, just relax.
I don't know. Compared to what I recently watched, that movie looks like The Empire Strikes Back.
You know what? I can't disagree with you because, like I said, after the first time we watched Galvatron's Revenge together, for that review we did on it, I went back and watched The Last Night just to remind myself what a decent Transformers movie should look like.
So keep in mind, I'm probably going to have a very
Yeah, literally, I did,
opinion.
Justin. I didn't just say that.
So keep in mind, I'm going to have a very flowery opinion on pretty much every movie we're going to be talking about throughout this entire retrospective series. If nothing else, it's because I decided to look for the bottom of the barrel and fucking blast mine the entire barrel.
Also, before we conclude, let me tell you, like, the best way I could describe it, Justin, it's like, after watching Galvatron's Revenge, I looked at The Last Night and said, perhaps I judged you too harshly. Now, does that mean that I absolutely adore this movie? Well, to take a quote from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, no, I don't love you. Aww.
No.
But yeah,
It's like, yeah, I enjoy it for what it is, but I don't love it.
Yeah,
I
so
like it.
With that being said,
There's a
this has been episode 1 of our Transformers movie retrospective. I'll hopefully have this podcast up before Thanksgiving, and then the next Monday we will begin discussing the return of Transformers to the big cinema all the way back in 2007.
I am very excited for that one for
Eh,
obvious reasons.
Yeah, and with that being said, it is now last call to Game Tavern Podcast. So, all of you, please do those things we YouTubers love to beg our audience to do, which is leave a like, leave a comment, share it with your friends, and of course, subscribe if you want more of this type of content. And above all else, please have a lovely, lovely time of day because you're all lovely, lovely people.
Bye.
Later.